I don't anymore, and it's really because of Michael Severe. Michael Severe is like,
yeah, you guys talked about this on Friday,
and he's
right?
like,
Or
and
Monday.
he told me he one time threatened me when I was in college if I continued to say
he was gonna kill you.
literally, you know, he was like, I'm gonna hit you over the head and I'll stop listening to
That's
your
why
stuff.
Michael's a great teacher.
And so I stopped but I have incredible. That's a word I use
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
And then my crutch segue transition word of, hey, we got a great show for you.
Hey.
Yeah,
just calm down.
Have you seen the John Gruden cameo that's been making its way over Nebraska Twitter?
Well, I saw him do a Creighton video.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was great. And
no,
then
I haven't seen anything on Twitter because all my accounts are suspended.
So, Millard South plays Elkhorn South in the Class A state playoffs.
Okay.
Tomorrow. And as you know, everybody's kind of wound tight over
the whole Elkhorn, the whole Millard South of it all.
Yes. And so somebody from Elkhorn South decided to pay for John Gruden to make a cameo.
Oh, nice.
Trashing Millard South.
All right.
And he was like, let me tell you what, man.
Whoa.
You know, these cheaters from Millard South, they're grabbing people from all over the country, man. I mean, they're recruiting. I don't care about this super team.
That
man.
is messed up.
He goes,
dude.
let me tell you one team I'm rocking with, man. I'm rocking with the Elkhorn South Storm.
That's
man.
messed up.
Isn't that genius?
I mean, it's a good bit. It's also it's kind of messed up.
Why?
These high school kids, man, they have no.
He's like
they're just going.
You know
for
when
it.
he opens up the box. He's like, and he tells people like, "Hey, what do you know about Dan Devine, man?"
He just says a bunch of things.
He's like,
about
"Let
places.
me tell you, you guys ever heard of Teddy Prohaska, man? I mean, let me tell you about that Elkhorn South Storm. What about Maverick Noonan?
Maverick Noonan.
Come on, I'm definitely just reading off of a list of Elkhorn South athletic alumni. Let me tell you something about.
Ashton Murphy. That's another one. It'd be tough. I mean, there's only like 13 years of Elkhorn South history because that school's only existed for that period of time. You go like Moses Bryant. You want a throwback? You know, that was from probably about.
How about a guy
ago.
who went to Northern Illinois, man? You know about Ben Gustafson, man. Let me tell you what, man. Ben Gustafson.
Yeah,
I mean,
these guys are ruthless.
Tackle, man.
These high school people are ruthless, man. They just say what they say.
Like,
you know, all the Barstool accounts and
it got bad. So
there's a bunch of just stuff that gets put on the internet that probably shouldn't be on the internet.
My senior year is kind of when high school Barstool started.
That is a horrible thing.
And it was I never was popular enough to really get exposed on there or anything like that. I wasn't relevant enough.
Yeah.
But man, some people did. Some people really did.
That's not good.
Like there were a lot of people cheating in high school, apparently. And if you were caught in some sort of calamity in that regard, you were it was tough. It was a tough watch.
Strigori says on YouTube, antagonizing the best high school team in the state right before playing them seems like a poor plan.
I would
tend to agree, Strigori.
It's not necessarily about I agree with you. The Barstool stuff and the antagonizing and the ruthlessness of it
like
all.
John Gruden's not going to do them any good when they get 84 dropped on them.
No. It's not. I don't agree with that. I just think it's really funny. Out of all the people that you decided to talk crap with Minnesota South, you go,
let's get Gruden.
Let's get Gruden.
Yeah.
I think that's genius.
We should have got Caliendo to do it. Instead, we could have done that yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was Frank on yesterday?
Frank was on yesterday.
God, I want to meet Frank, man.
Well, I mean, he wasn't here. He was on the phone. He was in Minneapolis, not Milwaukee.
If Frank comes into the studio ever, I'm gonna.
He'll be here in January.
I will be here. I'm gonna force my way to meet him.
Of course, that's totally normal. And then you guys could have a Gruden off,
dude. Do you know how electric that would be? Can you believe the numbies on that thing?
Stop it. Stop it.
I mean, it'll get a lot of clicks.
Maybe.
I mean, let me tell you what, man.
Yeah.
It's a little intimidating over there, man, ain't
it? Charles writes in.
Hi, Charles.
He's asking if Happer shows in Twitter jail, did the account go Jake Sorensen on something? That's a great question. No, all the accounts that I am logged into have been suspended from Twitter. So yeah.
You've been Zero Dark 30.
So now you can see all the accounts that I'm logged into. It's I don't have any burners, sadly. but
You should get one.
It's Connor Happer. It's at Happer Show. It's Locked On Nebraska. It's
Oh my God.
It's No Context 1620.
Oh no, that's a good Twitter account.
Tiny Baby Buffs. They're all.
What's Tiny Baby Buffs?
Tiny Baby Buffs is an account that we made to show off the fact that Colorado had tiny football players before Nebraska played them in 2023. And that didn't turn out very well. That account still exists.
That's a great idea, though.
yeah.
It's like this 5'6" kid from like Colorado Springs,
and they
Colorado.
all had the what do they call those? The caps, the
caps,
Guardian caps.
Guardian caps,
They
plus
all,
their Twitter handle on the back of their jersey.
They all had the Guardian caps and the Twitter handles in the jersey. We were like, these guys are tiny. And then they beat Nebraska by like 22 points. But
that was tough.
Yeah,
they were cheating, probably.
But there was a Twitter account, so those are all suspended. And I don't know when they're coming back. They have been flagged for inauthentic behavior. Now, notably, not the 1620 The Zone is which is an account that I'm logged into as well, but that account has a blue check mark by it.
Interesting.
So that's
so that account has not been suspended.
Good.
Interestingly enough. So we'll see what happens.
Got to pay the piper, baby.
I will not give in. I will not give, except for the one. Well, we don't
have to talk about that.
Yeah,
I do give in. Remember when I told you that I pay for Twitter so I can DM guests?
Well, it's working out for you right now.
No, it's not, because I pay for Twitter and none of the guests that I DM ever want to come on.
Yeah, but you have a blue check. Why wouldn't they respond?
That's what I thought. Well, the thing is that it was more so to do with you can't DM people with a blue check unless you have a blue check.
Right.
Where it's like, if you have a blue check, you can. And so it's like, there's 6 people that I really wanted to have on the show. Just none of them ever got back to me.
I really wish I would have got the blue
Screw
check
you,
back
Pete
in the
Makos.
olden days when the blue check
was like a big deal.
When it came organically, like when you just got a blue check for being cool.
You had to earn it. You had to be
like
a guy.
I think I applied for it once and I just must not have. I'm Isaiah Thomas. Back in I met the criteria. I just didn't.
That is my favorite.
Didn't get selected.
That is my favorite meme. That and the well, you can just post that picture of Isaiah Thomas sitting down in the chair, and everybody knows what you are saying. That and what you say F me for?
Yeah, exactly.
Nelly,
50 Cent.
Your first baby mama, Marissa.
God,
that's such a good video.
Yep. So we are just we're just rolling without the Twitter today.
I had a conversation behind your back with somebody, and I said Connor Happer should have a burner.
I know.
I go, that should be something.
But now they send out when they notify you that your accounts have been suspended. They say if you try to make other accounts to circumvent this fact, we're gonna ban that one.
Holy 1984!
Yeah.
I mean, they're really going full Orwell on you.
And so there you go.
I did.
We're just gonna roll it out. We're gonna play this thing out. We're gonna see what happens.
I did appeal this morning.
Same. Yeah, I did file
like it's
appeal.
an NFL suspension.
Yeah, that's what they do. There's like an appeal process,
a form.
They'll never get back to me.
Are they going to find you? Are you going to find you a game check or something? Or
I don't know. The chances of actually, this all coming back, they seem kind of small. It might just be canceled.
Well, didn't Josh get his accounts back?
Yeah, and I believe he has been suspended today as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So I think you guys are doing the same thing, probably.
Yeah, it's a TweetDeck thing.
Got to pay for TweetDeck.
Yeah, you gotta pay for it.
How did you?
But I can't pay for it unless they give it back to me. So there's nothing I could do.
Gone forever.
Now. I'm not gonna pay. I'm not.
How many Twitter followers did you have?
I don't know. Somebody check that.
Wow, you're so.
Check that.
I know my count at all times.
What?
I guess I have
that tracks.
I have 1,487.
I don't know, probably like
right
5,000 something.
That's great.
Oh, it doesn't give that data.
Yeah.
No, you're at. We'll never know. What, you're not trying to build your follower account? I'm trying to get
not actively.
I'm trying to get better numbies.
If anybody wants to follow along, that'd be great. Black Cat says 7K.
Wow, that's good.
7K.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, you must be funny. There are some people I know that go ahead and they do giveaways in order to earn followers, which is kind of wild.
Yikes.
Yeah. You just got to be witty. Just be witty.
Yeah. So I thought it was because I was like retweeting a lot of stuff last night because I was retweeting anything of me on the video board.
I love that.
And
Self-promotion,
so I
way to
just
do
thought like they probably flagged it because they thought I was some sort of spam account or something
Sure,
like that.
sure.
But no, I don't think that's
that video board. I saw it for volleyball, and I was like, "Man, the font's a little small." That video board for basketball,
it's looking good.
it is sexy.
It is sharp.
It is hot.
It is sharp.
By the way, the Freebird.
Yeah, what'd you think last night? Well, you were in the building.
I enjoyed it. I like Creighton basketball games. I
Yeah.
think first off, it's high quality basketball.
Mhm.
You know, well,
Not so much last night.
yeah,
but-
at times it was high quality basketball. When they had that the Swartz, McAndrew, Graves, Freeman, and Harper lineup out there,
yeah, you could see signs.
I go, that's fun.
You could see signs.
But when they ran with like Davis and Trout and
yeah, I
you
don't.
know.
I love Jackson, as Frank Caliendo would call him, Andrew McJackson. I like Jackson. I do not want him to play the 5.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I do not want that to happen.
And there were moments where Freeman was in, and you were like, okay, like defense is solidified, and then South Dakota found a way to get him out of the paint, and you were like, oops, like and then I love the Mac post games are so funny to me because he is just brutally honest.
Hell yeah.
He's just like, he literally goes, we have no inside presence, but we got to play better on the outside.
We have no inside presence. We're not physical enough, and we're not tough enough. That's the story.
Watching from the hockey press box was sick. That was really cool.
It's like watching the All 22.
Dude,
it's like the dots.
So
who's the dots guy in the NFL?
Yeah.
Solak. It's like the dots.
Oh, I love Benjamin Solak.
Yeah, he's the dots guy.
Watching from up there, it's like you really see everything, and the off-ball movement is so easier to see, and like you can see the pin downs and like the different players and stuff. Like you could actually see plays developing up there compared to like when you're on like even when you're in the. I thought a 100 level was a great seat.
Mhm.
Now I recognize I'm like I would much rather be up there
Really?
and get the full. Yeah, I like seeing.
I'm always a
develop.
person who likes to be closer just because I like to feel the speed and intensity of it.
So,
You don't get that upstairs. But
You
you're
don't.
right. If you want to see the whole picture, then maybe the higher view is a good thing for you.
Also, too, it's like I think that Blake Harper is strong. Like I think he's just a physically strong human. But I'm watching him move people from like 100 yards away. I would probably have a better idea of what that looks like if I was closer. So I get that too. But for somebody like me, it's not as if I'm, spoiler alert, not a Creighton basketball expert. So it's like
You're getting there. I listened to the post-game show last night.
I appreciate
Sounded good with Murph.
Ooh.
And
yeah, Murph's awesome. Coach Murph.
Looking forward to the overtimes this year. You did a great job. You've done a great job. And I always listen when I'm driving back home.
Joey Colbert's awesome.
Joey knows ball.
Joey is
Joey knows
just,
TV.
It is perfect.
So
like,
he was all locked in on the whole. They're going to Gonzaga and they're
first
going to be
off-
on ESPN, and it's going to be. You should definitely listen to 1620 The Zone if you have YouTube TV around here because
So,
that's your only option.
we were pumping that. We were pumping that big time.
Yeah.
And
Big night for John Bishop.
It's great. It's great because Joey has a lot of the previous Creighton knowledge and whatnot, and has just been around for so long.
Mhm.
And so for me, I mean, I just watched the game, and I tell you what I know enough. I know enough about Creighton basketball to do the overtime show. But I watched the game.
You're getting in at a good place right now because the whole team is basically new.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
there's no
And
prior anything.
But there definitely are moments, and Joey adds context to it, and it's perfect. And I enjoy doing it. I like watching ball and talk. I told you yesterday when I was at the game, I go, I love coming to games.
You
as a media
do.
member.
You
I
don't.
really do.
You don't care who's playing. You just like the ball.
I really do. But the problem is, and with doing all the BRORs, which I very much enjoy doing, and I'm not being sarcastic when I say that.
I know,
like
but
doing
you always
BRORs.
say it though.
Well, it's because
You always say I very much enjoy them.
because
It
Gary,
makes me think that
'cause
maybe you
Gary
don't.
thinks that I don't, and Gary thinks that I'm complaining, and I want it to be very clear. I'm not complaining.
Okay,
about
not
being on
complaining.
What would Gary know what it's like to do a BROR?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I've done 9 times as many
I-
BRORs as Gary.
I think you and I are doing Penn State, right?
No, I'm done.
Oh no, me and John are doing Penn
I'm
State.
done after UCLA.
No, we're not doing another show together this year.
No.
Me and John are doing Penn State, and
But-
me and Josh are doing Iowa.
That was the one. That is the one slightly This is the complaint of me doing all the BRORs. I'm not going to be able to go to a Nebraska home game this year for football.
Yeah, that is
kind of
sad. You like to be in the building.
I love to be in the building. That's what I was.
You
that's what I
said
did.
you said to me last night. You said I just like being. I like being at the press conferences. I like being around.
I like being around people.
I feel that way too.
I like seeing it.
Even
if I don't like, if I went to a Greg McDermott presser, like I would go, I wouldn't ask a question or anything.
Just sit and listen.
I would just.
That's what I do after the game. I always feel like a weird imposter because I always just sit next to John and whoever's doing color with them and listen to what Mac is saying after the game.
I would just like to be like, wow, what a tall human. What a big guy.
He's large,
and
man.
how smart are you?
He's a large man.
And then that's it. But I do like the Mac post game interviews. I like enjoying, or I enjoy listening to because I actually think I get smarter at basketball listening to it.
Yeah.
And then Murph said, "Great question, Matt." Yesterday.
Look at that.
And I was like, "Let's go."
Look at that.
Put that on my resume.
Look at that.
So,
do you know which assistant you're talking to? Like
every game, yeah.
Do you know which one in advance?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah, I have a full.
So
schedule.
who's lined up for next
tell you
game?
right now. I don't know it off the top of my head, but
All right.
I have the full schedule here.
Yes,
And
this will be good. We can plant some questions in there.
Oh,
too.
this would be great. Murph, funny enough, do you like he's assistant to the head coach.
Yeah, I mean he's been around forever.
But like I don't know, I feel like I should just call him assistant head. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to really call him anything. You could just call him an assistant. There's
assistant to the head.
There's like 100 assistants. You'll probably have Lou, and I think his title is actually like director of ops, but
it's not loading.
He's an assistant. Like he does it. John does all that. McHugh does all that stuff. So
I'm excited to talk. I have a lot of, because I have a pea brain. I was like, "Where's Alan Huff? When do I get to talk to Al?" Yeah. That was just my imitation of me being dumb.
Alan Huff.
Where's Alan Huff at? When do I get to talk to Coach Huff?
Talk to Huff.
I get to talk to him a lot, so I'm excited about that. So I have Mitch Ballack. After the Gonzaga game. Then we have Alan Huss for Maryland Eastern Shore.
Perfect.
Let's see like the big games here. So for St. John's, I have Derek Kellogg.
Okay.
And then for the UConn game,
there's so many assistants.
I have Mike Nesbitt. And then for the
don't know Mike as well because he's new.
Steve Murfeld, I have okay, so this is a big one. At UConn on February 18th, I have Coach Huss.
There you go.
So that's a big one.
Ooh.
For the Baylor game,
good get.
I have Kellogg, and then for the Iowa State game, I have Nesbitt, and then I have is it Ziegler or Zegler?
Trey Ziegler.
Yep. For the to be determined,
I think it might be Ziegler actually.
See, I've met people. So I got in trouble last year because Tennessee had a point guard,
Zakai
Ziegler, but I had Miss Zegler growing up.
Zeg.
Yeah,
I don't think it's Zeg. I think it's either Ziegler or Ziegler.
So Tennessee was playing a big game that night or whatever, and I hadn't watched Tennessee play yet, and so I called him Mekhi Zegler, and I got that's not his name.
That's like the guy who called in and said all the things about hiking. Did you hear his apology yesterday?
Really?
He called in. He called into our show and apologized.
Really?
To you. He said, "Hey, I was a little tuned up. I had all of these things that I was going to say, like I had to take, and then Matt said that thing about hiking, and it just, it just completely took an off ramp to a different thing." And he was like, "I'm sorry, I really like Matt. I like their show."
That's funny. Yeah. Look, I appreciate him. As Brian was his name. I appreciate him calling and saying this. First off, Josh Hodson did a great job of being Papa Bear there in that. If you go back and you listen to it,
I protect my guys.
Josh was very much like Sean Avery and came in like he wanted to fight Brian. I did not handle it well because I was just shocked that out of all the things that I've said over the last 11 months, that hiking them off sides was the one
you never know.
Really,
you never know who's listening at what time and what will trip people's trigger.
Exactly. And it's just
especially if they're drunk.
I've said some dumb stuff. And I've never had anybody call in and be like, "You don't know anything about anything." And I was just stunned. I was like, hiking them off sides was what did it.
So I agree with you. You are bound to with all the time that you're on the radio, Matt, and myself, Josh
Sure.
included, you were bound to say some idiotic things.
Without a doubt.
And the key to all of this stuff is to not care.
No, and I've gotten a lot better at it. But man, let me tell you right now, I wanted to kill Platt Cat. When I first started here, because Platt Cat got after me in January and February and March. Like he was on me, and I took it really personal.
He made you better,
dude. I took it really personal, and I was like, I
took that personally,
and I can't stand this guy. And like, Sith Destroyer was another guy.
See, look, there's another one for Black Cat. He says, I was very mean to Matt.
No,
I'm
but
sorry.
now PK the PC's my guy. Like I love Platt. Like I met
he's PC.
But I met him in person. Like we went ahead and we got a beer together.
That's right. You went to the baseball game.
At a baseball game, and I met him and I had a beer with him. And so it was just but as a young 22-year-old at the time who had never consistently been on air, it was very much like oh my God, like people, if I'm bad at my job, people are gonna let me know. It was a big shift for me. I had never gotten that before.
My first week here, I can't remember what it was about. But I got a big long email, like a scathing.
Oh, wait.
I can't remember what. Josh, do you remember it all?
I don't remember this.
It was like within the first week of me doing the show, and it was just, and it wasn't like about what who I am or like what I was. Maybe it was a little bit about what I was saying, but it was more about like the topic and how I was wrong about it or something like that. And I'm like, damn.
I have
and then you just say, damn, and then you move on. That's the key, Matt. Yeah. That's your next thing. You just say, damn, and then you move on.
Email from a listener about this was back. Okay, here it is. I have saved this.
Oh yeah, you put the old flag on it.
This was a great.
What was it regarding, and what was the attack?
So this is a long one, but I have to read it because it's just
the whole thing. Just tell me what it was about.
So basically, he goes,
what was it about?
I said that I was a Colin Cowherd guy. That I liked.
Well, this email is from Josh Hodson at nrgmedia.com.
And I said that I like Colin Cowherd and I grew up listening to Colin. Like I didn't say I was a Colin Cowherd guy. I just said I grew up listening to Colin Cowherd. I like him. I listen to his show, whatever. This guy emailed in.
Big city guy.
And he goes, he goes, I'm a longtime listener from Vancouver, Washington. I saw the rise of Colin Cowherd, right? Yeah. And he used to be witty and great. And then he turned into this weird, bombastic,
this is Josh.
Big,
No, this might actually be an
yelling and screaming guy, right? He goes, your new co-host, Matt, mentioned being a big herd guy. Listening to his negative rant on Friday about how close the present coaching regime is to a collapse was on brand. He tried a couple of times to play both sides of the fence, saying he wasn't saying what we all heard, but he went back to it multiple times. Maybe NRG thinks they need someone that is more combative and controversial.
Oh yeah, that's always like the call to action. Like maybe NRG should take a look at this.
He goes, in my case, I turned off the show in mid-segment on Friday due to content. First time for going that, or he goes, it was my first time doing that, going all the way back to Michael's shows.
Wow. And then you took that.
Well, you're famously from the Michael Severe tree.
I am from the Michael Severe tree. I took that personally. I was just like, this email came on December 13th at 10 p.m.
Oh yeah.
This guy sat down.
He sat with it all day.
all day and stewed up. Mm-hmm. And then at 10 p.m., I was at a Husker basketball game and I was sitting at Longwell's drinking a beer. And I just got this long, why do you think you're Cowherd? You're not Cowherd. You suck.
I can only imagine what your reaction would have been to receiving that email at Longwell's.
I was 5 days into the job.
You were probably in a puddle.
Dude, I was 5 days into the job. I was like, oh my God. Like,
I think I'm gonna get fired.
Dude, I was like, this sucks.
This is it.
This is awful.
You have had to take a lot of hard criticisms.
Oh, it's fine.
In your year here. Not even year here now, right?
Yeah. I mean, but like it's a lot. I mean, now, number one, your lesson, you don't go ahead and, care about it, but it's a lot less than what it was when I first got here.
People get used to it.
But the thing though is I talked to Schaefer about it, and Schaefer was like, Connor had to deal with it, Josh had to deal with it, he'll have to deal with it.
Mhm.
So it's just like, I hope to think that I'm on the back half of you're very young here, that type of stuff.
Let's we don't do this very often, but this is a good
Oh my
a
God.
perfect thing to bring into the show now. So this is Brian, who did call the show yesterday.
I
and-
believe this is a different Brian.
Oh, okay, different Brian. He has a so I don't know. I actually don't know where this is going then. But the topic at hand is, of course, what you think of MASH. So
What could go wrong?
Let's go ahead and bring that up now. Hey, Brian.
Hey, well, almost got the right Brian, just not that one.
Oh, out of breath, Brian. What's up?
Hey, Brian.
Now, I returned back to the ficklers since people been acting kind of fickle again.
They have been
Right.
fickle people, Brian. It's
Yeah.
good to hear from
Yeah,
you.
that's the mode. I'm not trying to rain on your parade, man, but I'm just saying what you said. And the type of caller you got when he said that to you, I just envisioned like a 1950, 1960 black and white TV show. You said something that was really blondish. Okay. It's like for me, when I referee basketball and I hear someone say over the back.
Yeah,
I
over the
say,
back.
Show me the signal for over the back.
Yeah.
And where that's worded at for an official.
Do you ever turn around and say that's not a real thing?
Yeah, so I just imagine them coming on the phone or Saturday and just saying, you say that stuff one more time, Matt. To the moon.
So that's the moral of the story, Brian. Don't say dumb things. You will get called out for it.
I'm just laughing.
Good to hear from you, Brian.
You too, fellas.
I appreciate you, Brian.
See ya.
Look, I will.
People are
admit,
being very questionable these days.
should maybe hike be out of my vocabulary as somebody who should be a ball knower? Probably.
Just certain things you just hear it and you're like, I can't deal with this anymore, and I am broken. I bet if you find yourself going to 7th grade basketball games,
Yeah.
and if you sit there long enough and you listen to all the parents talking about how it's an over the back and yelling at the refs and stuff like that, you probably at some point will reach your wits end.
Your boiling point.
You're like,
I guarantee you.
I don't know what the result of that is. That depends on what type of person you are. Like maybe the first instinct is to just yell at them or fight them or whatever it might be. But
Look,
yeah, everybody's got a breaking point with stupidity.
I think that out of the people here at 1620 The Zone, like outside of Gary, you two, I think obviously know me the best because we've been on the radio, for these crossovers and whatnot, and we all of us have hung out outside of here. It's funny to hear you when I listen to the show. Like I'll be brought up and you'll describe me and you'll be like, Matt does this or Matt does that, and it's very accurate. My father, my entire life, he's been like, dude, whatever you want to do it. Like, who cares? Like I told him I was doing this wrestling stuff. He's like, dude, awesome. Like, go ahead. Like, he's never been like don't do that or that's a bad idea. Like, even if he knows I'm going to fail, he kind of is like,
just take the road and see where it goes.
He seriously, he believes in that. He's like, all right, if you want to do it, you do it. And when I learned the lesson, I learned the lesson. I one time told him, I go, I think maybe I want to get into reffing or doing, being a referee or something like that. I can get angry. That I at times have been a temper. He goes, absolutely not.
That might not be the right fit for you.
He goes, absolutely not. He goes, you are going to be calling a call and you know that the call is going to be correct and you know that it'll be right. And somebody will say something to you and it will not go well for anybody.
I think
that is not something you should be doing.
Yeah. Some people's fuses are just a little bit shorter,
Well, my fuse is short when I know I'm right and people tell me I'm wrong. That is when there's no fuse exists. If I know that I'm factually correct and you're telling me I'm incorrect.
But then you go.
Then I go berserk.
So you're like, all right, foul on the arm, 22, white, and the guy's like, that wasn't a foul, and you're like, no, it was a foul.
Exactly.
You shut up back there. That would not go well for you. That would not be a good thing for the ref in that situation.
But if
it's always the retaliator.
If it's an opinion-based argument, there will be moments where Connor Happer goes on Gonzaga's basketball history, and I will go, all right, thought within the wrong.
All right.
I was incorrect.
So we always like to learn a little bit about each other. By the way, I was listening a little bit this morning on the way in, and Gary was in the shower. What was going on there?
Dude, so he like was joking about taking his shirt off on the screen like at 7:15. I was like, all right. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then
I was like, whatever.
And then we had sometimes we have breaks that are like 2.5 minutes, and sometimes we have breaks that are like 6 minutes.
Sure.
And we had like a 6-minute break, and Gary left. Gary left the screen. I was just kind of on the computer looking a bunch of stuff up. Gary returns to the screen. He's in a new shirt.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's straight out of The Sopranos. Like, it is white shirt. Like, he doesn't have a chain, but like
he had a schwitz.
It was like a little bit rough and it was loose. And I was like, you look like you're about to tell me Christopher Columbus is an Italian American hero. And like, he's or that stuff. And I was like, you're about to tell me what? No, F and ZD, like, what are we doing here? He goes, I took a shower.
Gary strikes me as a guy that, like, yeah, I take a 4-minute shower.
He popped in, popped out, and I go, no, you didn't.
Yeah, you never know what that guy's going to do at any given moment.
And then I'm looking at his hair, and it's glistening, and I'm like, oh my God, you're wet, like you are damp. And he's like, I told you, I took a shower.
Mm-hmm.
And then his hat was off, and his hair was down. And,
yeah,
you know how that looks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was something.
I'm glad you got to experience that this morning on the old stream. That's why you should watch the YouTube, everybody. You never know what you might see. You never know where we may be.
He looked like that
wherever
one scene.
we be.
Stop it. The Huskers are the Toyota for F-150 or whatever. The Toyota RAV4. Which, by the way, that was a great streak of 6 months of not being on promos. But anyway, what was he looked like that one scene in Goodfellas where they're taking the camera and they're panning it, and there's like, that's Tony 2 times.
He wouldn't know.
That's Michael Francesi. That's what he looked like.
But he doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. And
that's the moral of the story.
And I admire that. I admire people. I admire you for not caring. I still care.
It's the moral of the story. Well, you could care. You just try not to publicly show that you do care. That's the key. Put on the cool guy face, Matt.
I don't have a cool guy face.
No.
I would have to be cool.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Thanks.
Work on that one a little bit.
Appreciate it.
Matt, thanks. This has been fun.
It's been great talking.
Great to talk.
And you
too. It was great
Josh
to see you
Austin.
last night at the game. You were all
mediaed
mediated up.
I got to get a little pouch.
Did you get some delicious Godfather's pizza?
So Gary goes, the Blue Crew wasn't there. It's like, people told me the Blue Crew wasn't there, which was that true, by the way?
They were there. They showed them on TV.
Oh yeah, they were there.
Okay. And I go, Gary, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't pay attention to the halftime or like the timeouts or anything like that. I go, I would get up, walk over, grab a piece of pizza, and then hear Connor Happer, kind of doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, every media timeout. I go, I had 4 pieces of pizza last night. It was, whoa. I had a veggie piece of pizza, the meat pizza, the pepperoni pizza.
So what do you think? Godfather's versus Valentino's?
Godfather's.
Thank you.
Godfather. Now I need more sauce on the Godfather's pizza, but there's too much sauce on the Valentino's. Like in terms, and it's too sweet. Now, Valentino's, I only really enjoy it if it's out of a cardboard box. That's kind of if it's out in the open, no thank you. But if it's in a cardboard box, it's much better.
It's very different. All right. We'll let you go. Have a great day.
Hut hike.
That is, you got to double down on that. That's the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It is Thursday. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Thursday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer and Josh Odson with you. Hopefully you found our way to the program today. I'd like to apologize on behalf of all of our Twitter accounts because they're all suspended. How will you know what we are talking about? How will you know if we are doing a radio show today? I don't know. There is really no way for me to communicate that. So the only way to get in touch with us today is everything but Twitter, the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Or Josh has access to @1620 The Zone.
I have producer_Josh. I have @1620 The Zone.
All right, send your tweets that way on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. If Twitter is your preferred method of communication during our show, because as always, we love to hear from you all today. Jacob Padilla will join us coming up at 11, and Bruntz has dropped out today. He's going to speak to the youth of America.
Whoa.
And he accidentally scheduled it for exactly when he's supposed to come on our show. He goes, "Hey, Happer, I bleeped up." And I said, "Bruntz, it's okay. You go tell the youth of America to definitely get into sports writing, because that's great advice."
It's very stable, very lucrative business that everyone should get into.
That's what he's going to say, I assume, to the journalism class at UNL that he's speaking to this afternoon.
Well, you've all made a terrible mistake, but you're too far in. What are you going to do?
Yeah, you're really at a crucial moment in your lives.
Better hope someone asks you to write a book for them.
Learn how to podcast, kids. So Jacob will join us at 11. That is the lineup powered by the referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Grunt the Slate will still go on as scheduled this afternoon at about 12:45. Stay tuned for that. We want to hear from you all on the show today, 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. You could call that number. You could text that number. Either way, they both work. Twitter, at producer_Josh, at 1620 The Zone.
That's right.
Once again, at Connor Happer, at Happer Show, at No Context 1620 have all been hopefully temporarily suspended, but maybe permanently. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. People are like, "What happened?" And I was notified of this late last night, and it was like, "You have been suspended for inauthentic behavior." And then I tried to log into other Twitter accounts, and I found that those accounts have been suspended for inauthentic behavior. And that is all the information I have. I have filed an appeal. That will not work. So it's in God's hands, and we're just going to, if we get it back, we get it back. It'll be a nice surprise. And if we don't get it back, we will trudge forward. You can email Connor or Josh O at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And you can comment in on the YouTube stream. O-Trips writes in, "What link did you click?" Maybe I clicked too many links. I saw the paparazzi got me last night at the Creighton game, and I was retweeting stuff. And so maybe they looked at that and then said, "Well, there's too many pictures of this bald guy on the Twitter account, so we have to suspend all of his accounts immediately, post haste." And maybe that's what they decided to do.
I think John Walker probably reported you for
John Walker.
something.
John Walker has reported me. All theories that are up in the air, none of which I'm willing to strike down at this point, because I genuinely don't know. Charles says maybe it was your 6-7 announcement. O-Trip says maybe it was your engagement farming. I do engagement farm. I do love engagement.
You admit it.
I do love engagement. I like when people engage. That is for sure. Ken on the text line says we are doing a radio show today. Thank you. So he knows. Jeff says probably all the Creighton honking / not being very authentic.
Locked On guy is a Creighton honk.
Weird. So that is the story today. Elsewhere on the show, we will. I want to actually do this topic backup quarterbacks at Nebraska above replacement. All right. So how do we feel about Mr. Teef, compared to how you would have felt or did feel when other backup quarterbacks at Nebraska have come in over the years?
Okay.
So I mean, there's some obvious really, really good choices, say like 2007, for example. Now, I don't think we could have known this at the time, but Joe Gans turned out to be a pretty good option, right? Instead of Sam Keller. We found that out later in the year. And then there have been some, like 2018, we saw what happened when Adrian Martinez went down, and we saw Bunchy.
Oh yeah.
He's near the bottom. He's near the bottom of the list at this point. So how do we feel about TJ Lateef operating in these next 3 games for Nebraska football? Otrip says Jeff Sims was a pretty good one. Well, Jeff Sims was never really the backup.
Except that Maryland game.
Except for that Maryland game where that year almost gets thrown out because it was all 3 of them. Sims was the starter, and then Harburg and Chubba were the backups. And we saw each of them start many games for Nebraska during that season. So that one is sort of odd. I don't know that any of them worked out particularly well. So we'll have that coming up today. Of course, we'll talk about Creighton last night and what they did and what they did not do, and how prepared or unprepared they are to head to Spokane, Washington on Tuesday evening. Once again, if you have YouTube TV and you would like to try to watch the game,
I would.
There is a high potential that you will not be able to do so. So 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg are a great option for you if you don't have any other workarounds. Not trying to get suspended from anything. Just listen to 1620 The Zone.
Turn it on and rip the knob off.
John will take you deep into the night on Tuesday night at Gonzaga. Are you a run the ball guy? I might have the game for you. Coming up on Saturday at the Rose Bowl. We can talk about that today. What's going on with Pat Fitzgerald? He's trying to get his name back in the cycle here.
Patty Fitz.
We'll check in on Pat, see what he's up to, and various other things throughout the show. If there's any breaking news, Josh, you'll have to hit it. I won't see it. I'm not.
That could be fun.
I'm not up to date on the minute to minutes anymore. I don't have the scrolling line in front of me. I don't see any of the funny tweets that are out there. I don't know what's going on in the world, except for like I'm just refreshing ESPN.com.
Whoa.
To see if there's
what year is it?
I don't know. I definitely don't want to go to Facebook or anything like that, because that's not breaking news. I saw Facebook. I saw a horrible AI Facebook thing last night. I don't even want to say what it is. I'm not going to say what it is because it's very not inappropriate. It's horrible, right? And it's one of the Husker AI accounts. I mean, it is horrific, the stuff that they are putting out. Not only clickbaity or whatever, but just like horribly inaccurate and fake. I mean, it's bad. So don't go to Facebook for your news. That's the moral of the story here. All right, Padilla will join us at the top of the hour. We're off and running on a Thursday. Good to have you here on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But ladies and gentlemen, first a word from Underdog Fantasy. Football season is indeed in full swing, and however you'd like to get on the action, you can do it on Underdog right now in our fine state of Nebraska. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Plus, with Underdog's ultra-fast payouts, you could get your profits in a snap. Download the app today. Use the promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks and team picks, all on Underdog. Crypto.com predictions powered by Underdog Predict. Trading derivatives involve risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit nadex.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. For crypto.com predictions, the term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Last night, opening honk for the Blue Jays at home against South Dakota and winning by the final score of 92-76. Wasn't pretty last night. Need to mention off the top, Creighton did not have Jason Green available. Jason Green.
Why?
Concussion protocol. He banged his head. I don't know what he banged his head on at practice. I wasn't there, but he banged it, you know? And so that hurts right off the bat. You did not have Karam Konan last night. He was kind of suspended, like serving a one-game eligibility. I don't understand. I don't know.
That's what downtown Nikki B called it.
Did he say the word suspension?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I guess it's that.
But he also said one game eligibility suspension kind of thing.
Okay, that's exactly how I would describe
you
it.
could tell he was also like, I guess I'll call it a suspension.
Nobody knows what the rules are anymore, and they're just saying, "Hey, one game," and then he's back. So that hurts your depth with the bigs immediately. Obviously, Jason's going to play some 5 this year, and I think Karen probably will as well. So the Jays had to rely on a, I don't know what Owen is at right now, like 70%, something like that, like available to play, but not at a complete, sort of level yet. He didn't start last night. He's fired up and he's ready to go. He just knows that it's going to be a process. He's so fired up, he gave me a big chest bump before the game yesterday. He did one of these, like he kind of ran to me and he's like did one of these, and I was like, oh God, and I don't know.
Did you take it?
Yeah.
What happened? How far back did you go?
I almost got knocked over.
Okay.
Because I was off balance. I was in the air. I mean,
are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. I got suspended from Twitter, but I'm fine.
That's probably not why.
So there was some JTT last night. He had a nice night, and Max said after the game that this might not be just like a cool story. I mean, he might have to play a little bit because they know what they're getting from JTT and Liam McChesney a little bit last night, who's in his 100th year of college basketball at his 40th different school, and he's only a junior, which is frankly amazing. So there was some Jackson McAndrew and at the 5 minutes, and that's not a great spot for him. And there was some Isaac Trout at the 5, and it was just kind of a big piece it together night. And there was also like an element of, they hadn't, this group, and I think this is the main probably takeaway or point. And Max explained it more eloquently than I can last night after the game with John, but they're in a rare situation for Creighton, especially under Mac, but for Creighton period, obviously, where more of the team is new, especially more of the contributors are new than they are guys who have been around. So guys who are back are obviously Jackson and Trout and Ty Davis, and then JTT and Fedor. But other than that, like, everybody else is new. And so they're getting into the swing of things, and it's the first game. So you just don't have the teeth that you need yet. And it's a question for me with this team in general, but last night should provide a really good learning lesson, I think, for Creighton to say, hey, look, man, like it's go time. We have to be in the right spot. Max said last night, he said, we probably got to slow things down a little bit, and not like game pace wise, but just in practice. So everybody, we master some things before we move on. And he's just like, it's an adjustment for the coaches because those guys aren't used to it either, not having ready, set, go guys from day one, and then hooking up everybody else on the tailgate and say, come along with us or you're going to get left behind. Now the contributors are all sort of new, and it's just hard to hit that go button right away because, like I said, it's just going to take some time.
I think the graphic on Peacock last night said 67 points per game.
Yeah,
they are trying to replace.
And on top of that, like Kalkbrenner, your entire defensive thing is it just completely changes, and he's been a stalwart there for 5 years, and so everything is different and everything sort of changes. But there's no doubt that they still have talent, and I think we saw it in flashes. And you could literally, it was one of those things, and this is why we're talking about it. Well, we're talking about it with Matt a little bit there in the crossover. Like, you could really see it when you're sitting there on the possessions where they're really, I thought coming out of timeouts, they had their kind of focus about them, and it was like, all right, we got a new start, and they were lucky enough to be playing a team that was sort of built the way that South Dakota was built last night, because they cleaned up a little bit on the offensive boards. They got several extra possessions that they ended up converting buckets out of last night, but some good hustle plays and extra stuff from from guys like Fedor and Jackson McAndrew. And then, you got to have your scorers be your scorers as well. And that's still coming along. One of the things before the season was, can Josh Dix really assert himself and be that guy? Haven't exactly seen that yet. And then for everybody else, it's, can you be in the right spot and do the right things? I think Graves is the guy with the ball in his hands all the time. And so he's directing traffic, but he has it a little bit easier because it goes at his pace. He is the point guard, right? And so everybody kind of moves as he goes around, but they probably, need some more from him as well. It can't be a mess yet because it's just the first game, but there's just so many different adjustments and things that have to happen in order for them to reach their potential and win as many games as people think they're going to win this year. And it's obviously not there yet. So I think last night was probably, kind of eye opening for everybody, hopefully for the team as well, to say, all right, we really need to go, the practices are over. There's no more like ifs, like it's real life time. And that's why JTT played last night, because they know where he's going to be, and they know what he is where he's supposed to be, and he can kind of direct traffic a little bit out there. They need more guys who they can trust to be in the right spot at this moment, because so much of what Creighton does is about focus. It's just about like it is down to a science, right? And the science equation gets fiddled with a little bit depending on what you have year to year, but you have to know what you're doing, and you have to be in the right spot. And there's certain principles that you just can't break. And, they don't have a lot of guys that can be trusted right now to always be in the right spot every time. And that's what they need, because that's what they've always been.
It was so weird watching it because the game was in hand.
Yeah.
Like, it never felt like they were going to lose, but I just watching it going, this doesn't look right. It's like,
It's just a little slow.
Clearly at the 5, like they were, I don't know, at a disadvantage, or it really didn't look right there. But the whole thing, just the whole operation, just something not right here.
Yeah, it's just a little like their thing is relentless focus and execution. It is a machine in a way, and they cannot be a machine right now because all the parts are not working to their fullest capabilities. All the parts are just parts right now, and they haven't been put together. The parts are good. They're good parts, Walter White, he's got a great meth lab. All the parts are great.
Great meth lab.
But you gotta tie those things together in order to get the meth.
Excellent
example. That's what I always say. That's
you're always saying that.
I don't think that was ever really a problem for Walter. I think he had some other things on his hands at various different times. So yeah, I think going to Gonzaga is going to be a heck of an experience for this team, because they're going to have to go. I mean, they're going to have to get this thing going pretty quick, and whatever happens in that game will be another bullet point, a learning lesson, and all that stuff. And you got to fast track it too. You can't like, maybe in a different time, you'd get all these guys and you'd say, yeah, we're going to see how this thing goes. And then in theory, we're going to be really, really good next year, or really, really good at the end of the season. Like, they just don't, this is a program now with expectations. They got to get to the tournament. They got to win a game in the tournament. They got to be top whatever in the Big East. They got to compete for a conference championship. There's no time. You have to fast track some things. And, I don't know if that means like, like Max said, slowing things down in practice, or some of your principles, they get softened a little bit. I don't know, but it'll be a fascinating, experiment from a coaching perspective, and then of course from the player perspective as well, because like everybody's saying, they do have talent. It's obvious, but it doesn't work if it's not all on the same the same page.
Gonzaga went out and beat Texas Southern 98-43.
Yeah, they had another game, right?
They play Oklahoma Saturday.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. So Creighton at least will be the rested team in that situation. Star Wars Fiend says, sounds like Connor is thinking they don't stand a chance at Gonzaga. That's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. I do not expect them to win. No, I do not.
In the kennel.
Yeah. Tough.
All
right. Quick break. More on that with Jacob Padilla for Dead Sports coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Basketball Jones. I got a basketball Jones. I got a basketball Jones, oh baby. Basketball Jones. I got a basketball Jones. I got a basketball Jones.
And now, the only cure for our basketball Jones. Hail Varsity's Jacob Padilla on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone, baby.
All right. John is sitting there composing a text right now. Not John Bishop. John. Texter John. Composing a text right now. He's saying, I can't believe I have to deal with this song and the basketball talk. But sorry, John. It's time to talk hoops with Jacob Padilla from Herdad Sports. Joins us down the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Jacob, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. What did you do to get yourself suspended?
I don't know. I think we were able to deduce it was because I used old TweetDeck. And they suspended not only my account but all of the accounts that I am logged into, which is disadvantageous for the radio show?
Sounds like I'm in dangerous territory then.
Oh, you use old TweetDeck. Now you don't have to admit it, but that is interesting because it feels like you should have been suspended already if that's the case.
Yeah. I don't. I saw like a tweet something referencing that. I was like, oh, that's probably not good. But yeah, I've been using it for years. It's so much better than regular Twitter.
It is.
Kind of need it.
It's amazing. The tweets just come up. You don't have to press, go again. It's awesome. So you might be on the fritz there. I don't know when, but it's probably not looking very good for you.
Well, hopefully you get it back, and if I get stuck in the same thing, it'll be short-lived. But I'm going to keep using it until I lose it, I guess.
You're battening down the hatches. Are you at PBA for some volleyball today, or what's going on?
I am not. I had something to record here in Omaha. Plus, I have to go to Husker volleyball tonight.
Okay.
So I figured, like, well, I could go for the middle session and then head over to PBA. But I'll figure out if I'm going to do that or if I just take the day off. And, our friend Austin Jacobson is there holding down the fort. I will be there for the semis and the finals.
By the way, what happened to his hand? What happened?
His TikTok hand.
He apparently can't be trusted with a knife.
Oh,
he was trying to cut up lettuce for salad, and a piece of the thumb ended up in the lettuce.
A piece of the thumb? That's legit.
Yeah, he had to call Dr. Fiance to ask if he needed to go to the ER for it.
Oh,
it was
my
blood.
Austin.
So yeah, he was not having a good time yesterday. But he's powering through. Kid's a gamer.
Good job. He really is. He needs his thumb to make TikToks.
Fortunately, it's the left. So not. But yeah,
it's not his TikToking thumb.
Yeah, it's the off TikToking thumb. So at least we have that going. All right. Well, our best to Austin as he works through this. Okay, so let's go back to last night. Were you surprised? Just how far they maybe have to go from the jump last night, or do you throw a lot of it out the window because of what they were limited to in terms of their personnel last night for Creighton?
Yeah, I'm not. I think that is a huge part of it. Just again, they had to kind of mix and match rotations, lineups, and he had guys in positions they hadn't really been practicing for. And that kind of, I think, probably put a wrench in some things and impacted the slow start. And McDermott even said as much. Like, they basically started without a five. I mean, their offense is pretty balanced. The five-man plays an important role. And basically, anytime they've gone small in practice, it's been Jason Green doing those things.
Yep.
So like if Jason and Isaac play together, yeah, maybe Isaac guards the five, depending on the matchup, but he's still doing the same thing offensively, whether he's 4 or the 5. Jason's the one that kind of does a lot, the ball screens, the post ups, that kind of stuff that they ask their 5-man to do. So you didn't really have that aspect, and there was a lot of stagnation early on with guys in unfamiliar roles, and then they eventually got into a rhythm. Obviously, we know how big of a piece Owen Freeman is going to be for this, and we saw that just as productive as he was in his brief 19 points in 19 minutes after a start that very much showed the rust that he's still working through.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to take away too much. I think there's a lot of good teaching tape, and this was probably good for the team just to have the examples of, hey, this is where you screwed up, and this is how it impacts thing, and this is the stuff that you guys really need to kind of lock in on. Because, like, I mean, you go to their practice, you see, like, they're stopping every other possession. They're really emphasizing things. They're kind of hammering on things, but it's in a controlled setting. It's a lot harder to do it when the bullets are live. There's no stopping it to talk things over. The speed of the game is so much faster. There's more pressure on. And we saw that defensively. Like McDermott said, there are a lot of guys that maybe just didn't read the floor very well. Like they were hugging a non-shooter. They weren't helping when they were supposed to, or they're leaving guy that could shoot, and like just a lot of kind of mental mistakes and those things are fixable. And that's probably the good thing is you come away, giving up 48 points in the paint, not ideal. That's not what you want to see. But I think we still have to kind of wait and see, like how much of that is a personnel problem versus how much of it is, it's just early in the season with a lot of newcomers and guys not totally comfortable with what they need to do yet within the system.
I thought they, at a variety of different times, there was there was a little too much of turning down good looks and then dribbling into nonsense. Like, obviously, I don't, if they're going to go and they're going to be obviously more offensive tuned to defensive tuned, you kind of have to, take the good shot, right? Like, where do you think they're at right now as far as that's concerned? Knowing it, it's just the first game, but there's probably some of like a little bit more indecisiveness than you're used to seeing with the Creighton team.
Yeah, I think it's, again, just the fact that you've got all these guys in these positions for the first time. And so trying to feel their way through things and understand like what's going to be a good shot for them, for this team. And I think like I'm not terribly worried about them offensively. Like I even we saw them really ratchet up the pace in the second half, running off makes and misses, getting easy buckets. Like how many fast break finishes that did Freeman have just from running the floor, and that's him in what you said maybe 70%. Like not even close, and still beating guys down the floor for easy buckets. So they're getting the ball out fast, and you've got good decision makers on the wing, getting them easy buckets, and they're definitely gonna shoot the ball better than they just did in this game. And it was interesting in the second half; they kind of went away. They only took 9 threes in the second half, and a lot of that was because they were getting so many easy twos. But also, I think there was a more concerted effort to let's take advantage of what we're doing well in this game, and they're able to extend the lead out to 24. I think was the largest lead.
Yep.
So there's definitely a lot of things to work through, but I don't know that I saw anything in that game that says, oh yeah, this team doesn't have it. I think there's a lot of correctable mistakes and a lot of things that time will improve. Unfortunately, they don't have time before they have to go out to Gonzaga.
No, they most certainly do not. You've seen Josh Dix play a lot, and then the 2 exhibition games in a Creighton uniform plus last night. What would you say is the role that best fits him for this team? What does he need to be for Creighton?
Oh, that's a good question. It just needs to be a steady presence, and I think he's a guy that they can run set, like if they're in an offensive rut, he's a guy that you can kind of run a set for. We saw that coming out of the second half. Just ran a nice little play to kind of get him popping free to the free throw line for the mid-range jumper that he likes so much. I think that's something maybe late in the clock that you can put the ball in his hands. He can get to his mid-range game a little bit if things haven't been flowing. I think you could see him, depending on how the rotation shakes out down the line, you can see him maybe handling the ball and run a little bit of point when Nick Graves is out, depending on what they want to do with like a Ty Davis versus an Austin Ford or Fedor Zugic, like which of those guys they want to have out there when Graves is sitting. So like I don't know that like the Naismith recognition.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's going to be that. I don't think he's going to come out and have a Baylor Shireman year 2 kind of season where he's going to average 19 a game or anything like that. I think it'll probably be somewhat similar to where he was last year, just because of the depth of talent on this team, the scoring options, and the fact that he is pretty unselfish by nature. And he's a great 3-point shooter, but he's not necessarily a guy that's hunting out threes. He doesn't like the volume isn't crazy like Baylor Shireman. That dude will hoist from anywhere.
Yep.
I don't think Dix is that kind of shooter, although he's 42% like accurate. He's not a guy that's coming out and taking 9 threes a game and firing from anywhere. Like,
no, he really likes to. I was
threes.
amazed at how much he likes to, get to his spot, especially in the mid range. That was sort of an interesting wrinkle.
That was his game in high school, and I mean, I think coming out of Abraham, like I saw him. He played at OSA. I watched him play a ton. Like I was talking with the staff there, and I was kind of the question. Like the mid range game was always what he was comfortable with. Like that was like what he excelled at. I think the question that Creighton had is like, how good of a 3-point shooter is he really? Because he was kind of more streaky in high school, and again, wasn't necessarily the thing that he was trying to get to every possession. Sure enough, he gets to college and is a career 40+% shooter. So I guess the answer to that question was, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I mean, you can see that the mid range is where he's very comfortable at, and what he had 2 or 3 of them, I think, in that game last night out of his 5 buckets.
Yeah, I mean, there was like 2 or 3 possessions where he just went straight to like right elbow. I'm like, oh wow, that's clearly where he wants to get to, and he'll pull it from there. We didn't see Jason Green last night, and then Conan. Obviously, I think they'll both help in their own ways on this team. Obviously, Jason being the most overqualified, glue guy, role player for this team. He does a lot of everything, but people saw Hudson Greer in street clothes last night. What's the decision-making process in that, given, I mean, how much we've been talking about the depth, especially at his position, kind of on the wing? Would you expect that to be a red shirt for Hudson this year?
I think there's a reason that conversation is ongoing, and they hadn't come to the final decision by the opening game.
Yep.
Because there's so many factors at play. And one is the 5 to play 5 rule going to pass at some point in Greer's career? And if so, do you want to sit him out and potentially lose a year of eligibility, period, whether he sits out or not? Or if it does pass during his career, will guys get grandfathered in, like we had seen previously, where the guys that chose the red shirt before the rule was in place still get that extra year to play their 5th season? So in that case, it would be 6 to play 5 for those guys who chose the red shirt under the previous system, which I could definitely see someone pushing for that. So those are long term. Those are factors at play. Like, what is the value of sitting out this season? Will it maintain a year of eligibility, or will it cost him? So that's one. 2 is just the depth on the team and the options. And when I first kind of got an inkling that this was a consideration, I sat down and tried to do the kind of minutes, the draw out the depth chart, the rotation, all that type of thing. And even then, and I left him out of it just to kind of see what it looked like. Even then, it's really hard to get guys enough minutes to where it feels like it makes sense. And so depending on what they do at the backup point guard spot, like how much does Ty Davis play there versus do you slide Dix over there and try to get more minutes to guys on the wing? But you're looking at, even without Greer, you're looking at once Green gets back, he starts at 3, then you look at Harper, Zugic, and Austin Sports. Basically 3 guys for 2 spots off the bench at the 2 and 3 spots. And that's, again, if you add Greer into that mix, that's another one.
Yeah.
So that things get really tough there. And then you've got Isaac, like you could slide Harper to the 4 more. I mean, Greer played some 4 in the exhibitions. But you've got Isaac Trout there, who's an upperclassman and a guy that's been in your program as long as anybody. So it just gets really tough where the minute's going to come from, and ultimately what will he benefit most from? Like, if you can only get him 5 minutes a game, is that worth it over sitting out, potentially saving that year, and just focusing on being the guy on the scout and just taking as many shots as you possibly can in that role and replicating other teams' leading scorers and best perimeter players and that type of thing? What will he get more out of it long term? And you're looking at it, if you do try to squeeze him in, like you say you've got like 12 minutes to give, does it help the team more to have have 2 guys play like 5 to 6 minutes apiece between him and like Zugic or Harper, somebody like that? Or is it better to get that guy 12 to 15 minutes, just one guy, so he can get into a rhythm and potentially contribute more? And if that's the case, like, can Greer really beat out all these other guys? Like, he's a true freshman competing with guys that have played a lot of college basketball before. And he was really impressive early on. Like, he clearly has the skill set, the talent to help this team long term. And he could play this year. But I think what changed from where we were thinking in the summer to where they are now is just the rise that I think Harper has made. He's kind of really flipped the switch and taken massive strides in the fall. And Swartz as well, too. I mean, in the game last night, he came in and did some really good stuff and was really productive in his minutes, even though he only made one shot. So it's just a really complicated. They got to figure out, okay, what is best for our team this year, what is best for Hudson this year, and what is best for both long term. And so I think those conversations are going on. Like you've got to get redshirting is a two-way street. It's got to be agreed upon by the coaching staff and the player and his family. And so I think they're still talking through all that stuff because they want to keep him a part of this core long term. Like they're still really high on him. Like this conversation isn't this kid might not have it. It's the exact opposite. It's like this kid has a chance to be really good, for us, and we want to make sure that we're getting the most out of it. Give him the best chance to become the player that we know he can be.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have, but you got to play it the right way. One more guy before we let you go. How about Fedor? I mean, what is he destined to just be on this team the spark guy, like because he came in last night and gave him a couple nice bursts, made a couple hustle plays. Like what is his role according to his skill set with all of the depth at that position that you just mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, it might just be somewhat that 10 to 15 range.
Yeah.
Because you've got Austin Swartz had a really good fall.
He did.
And end of summer. And that's a guy that can really get out there and give you buckets in a hurry. Different kind of player than Fedor, although they do. I mean, you could ask them to fill a similar role, but just goes about it a little differently. And yeah, it's going to be tough. I don't know. Like once you get Jason Green back into that mix, where does that slot in? Like Fedor and Ty Davis were the first two guards off the bench, came in together. But then Swartz came in later in the game and he ended up playing more minutes than both of those guys.
Yep.
And so I don't know how they're going to make sense of this rotation. That's kind of one of the takeaways that I wrote about coming out of it. We came into the season with questions and we did not get any of them answered in that first game definitively, just because of the guys that were missing, the decisions they're still having, Freeman not being 100%. So now they have to go out in that Gonzaga game without any of those questions answered. And I guess the staff are going to have to play it by ear and just they'll go in with a plan and see how it goes and have to be ready to adjust on the fly and roll with guys that are helping them, that are contributing the most if they find themselves in a tight game into the second half.
All right, Jacob, we will let you go. Appreciate your hard work as always, and we will talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Connor.
Jacob Padilla from Herd at Sports. Yeah, and the questions getting answered thing. It's funny because it's not. You think about, oh, we have these questions before the season. When are they going to get answered? You get a lot of them in the first game, and as Jacob just said, the picture is not any clearer than it was yesterday or 5 weeks ago or whatever it might be. We're not getting those questions answered because they don't know. I mean, they don't know the answers to the questions. They still have to play the guys and see how it all plays out as well. So it is it's going to be fascinating to see how this whole thing works together as always. Hey, before we take a break, and Mac mentioned this last night, wanted to say that we are thinking about our dear friend Matt DeMarinis at the moment, dealing with some pretty serious health stuff. We look forward to getting him back whenever we possibly can. So shout out to Matt, and our prayers are out to him at this time. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk a little backup quarterbacks for Nebraska.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
After this on 1620 The Zone. But first, football season is indeed full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. You can make picks and win money right now in Nebraska. It's easy. Pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get your picks right. You go up to 5,000 times your cash. So take a look, whether it be tonight or over the weekend in football. Pick a player, stat category, whether it be, like I said, touchdowns, you go higher or lower. You can combo those together to increase your chances at a bigger payout. So it's very easy. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code HAPPER1620. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing. Get terms _DFS_.html for details. Consider with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Severe Reaction is coming up on Sunday morning. As always, Michael will break everything that happened in the game down. What does he say? What went right? What went wrong? And I'm sure there will be many numbers and many callers asking Michael questions.
I love talking to Mike.
1620 The Zone, 8 to 10 on Sunday, brought to you by Equitable Bank and Nebraska medicine. And of course, big red overreaction coming up after the game. What are we looking at? About 11:30?
That's what time I told everybody it would start.
Somewhere in
We'll
that
see.
range. John and Matt will have it on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg. Brought to you by Equitable Bank, No Name Nutrition, Jason and Contracting, Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, Prairie Flower Casino, and Peerless Energy Systems. Greg in Myrtle Beach, he has an idea on how to fix Creighton basketball.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Greg in Myrtle Beach.
Just get Mac to call middle school rule for a batch of Red Auerbach quotes to get the Jays in perfect alignment. What do you think? You think it'd work?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Well, it's working for Matt, isn't it? Working for Matt.
Is it?
Rule. But I don't know. I'm not sure. TBD.
Maybe read a book on timeouts.
TJ Lateef will have a lot of that in his hands on Saturday night. Also, Pedro wrote in earlier. He says,
Pedro.
"Hi guys, I'm sure Coach McDermott is happy you are comparing his basketball program to a meth lab." I'm sure.
Both
sure.
get people jacked.
You guys can always tell what I'm doing with my life because every comparison that I make will be to either what I'm watching on TV or the things that aren't the things that are happening when I am not on the radio. You know, and so the most fresh thing on my mind was Breaking Bad because I watched another episode last night after I had learned I'd been
Season 4
suspended from Twitter, and yeah, I'm in season 4. They had the oblique moment of Hank had found Gail's notes and brought him in the case file to his house. You know, this is at the time where Hank is really into minerals, and Walter's there for dinner, and he goes, "You got me." What's WW mean? Walter White. You got me. And then he came up with the great excuse of Walt Whitman. It's a poem by Walt Whitman.
You getting down to the end here.
I wonder if he will ever get out of this. Stay tuned to find out. All right, so I've had this idea floating around in my brain for the last couple days here. And I'll start with the kind of hypothesis here. I think that I feel better than most about TJ Lateef operating Nebraska football as a backup quarterback, better than most other backup quarterbacks. So I want you to transport yourself into your own brain, tap into your own institutional knowledge over the last 20 years of watching Nebraska football, 20, 25 years, post-Osborne, whatever, era of Nebraska football. Tap into your own brains. And in most of these seasons, we have gotten sudden appearances from backup quarterbacks, if not
that's right,
complete, they started chunks of the season. And so if you could transport your brain back to those moments, how did you feel when those guys were taking over? Given what you had known about those players and what you had known about the previous quarterback who went out of the game via the injury.
Not great.
I agree. I haven't felt great about hardly any of them until right now. I feel okay about TJ. I don't know what it is. I think they'll devise a plan around him that works. And, I think there's a lot of people already concerned that they're going to be too conservative with him. But it doubles as a path to win football games as well. I mean, these games are going to be tight and low scoring, and you just can't really afford to put the ball in harm's way. So you're going to lose a little bit of your ceiling with TJ compared to with Dylon at quarterback.
I mean, you got to open it up more than you did on Saturday.
Yeah. They tried. I mean, they threw the ball downfield a couple times. They drew up that screen that should have worked, and I don't think it'll be that far off. It'll just be less frantic because TJ now has had a week.
Okay. That would probably make me feel better about the operation.
And I think that's the goal. Don't freak out Nobody freak out here, okay? Nobody panic. Stay calm. Stay freaking calm. So here's a short list, a long list, I guess. Examples where you could tap into your institutional Nebraska football knowledge and think about some of these past backup quarterbacks. Last year, Nebraska's quarterback to Dylan Raiola was Heine. I felt pretty good about Heine because I knew what they would do when they would put Heine into a game, right? But Dylan never really went out last year, so we never got to that point. 2023, you almost have to discard completely because Sims was the quarterback before he got hurt, and then it was Heinrich for a few games, and then it was Chuba. They really all played the same amount at the end of the season, and they all did different things. And so nobody was really the backup quarterback, or at least how it turned out that year. I felt fine with Heinrich going into the game in 2023 because Jeff Sims was so horrible and couldn't stop turning the ball over. So you almost throw that year out. 2022, Casey Thompson's backups, and I don't know that we ever really saw this year. Casey maybe went out for a half a game or something like that. 2022, his backups were Chuba and Smothers. And you knew what you were going to get when Smothers went into the game. You probably were maybe still mildly excited about the Chubster at that point because you hadn't really seen him. 2021, Smothers was Adrian's backup. At that point, there were some people who were like, "We need to play Smothers." Like
Low Smo
was he was the Tiffy of his time. People wanted to. Remember, he started the Iowa game and played that year and got Nebraska out to a 21-6 lead in the Iowa game, and then some series of horrific events happened after that. 2020, Luke McCaffrey was Adrian's backup. We saw a lot of that. 2019, Noah Vedral was Adrian's backup. I think Vedral was kind of in the Tiffy category as well. Of like people, there was some clamoring to see Vedral.
Oh yeah,
for probably inappropriate reasons, more of like, oh, he's a Nebraska guy and we like him. And in 2018, Bunchy was Adrian's backup. Bunchy. Now that nobody was excited to see that. Adrian Martinez's direct backup was walk-on, who nobody had heard of. And predictably, when he played in the Troy game, it was horrific. And when he played in the Michigan game after they just pulled Adrian because it was out of control, he was yet again horrific. I'm sorry, Bunchy. But nobody was looking forward to that. 2017, Patrick O'Brien was Tanner Lee's backup. We saw a little bit of that for that Penn State game where he kind of got hurt. He got a concussion, but like he came back. And I think we were toward the end of the POB hive at that point. Like the what do they call that? The thing where people like you, the stat of how many people like you.
Like a Q rating?
Like a Q. That's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you, Josh. The Q rating. His Q rating was on the decline. POB's was in by that point in 2017. And then I don't think anybody was super excited for 3 years, 2014, 15, and 16. Tommy Armstrong was a starting quarterback all 3 of those years. And as much as polarizing as Tommy was, nobody was excited to see Riker. I don't think anybody was excited to see Riker. So he goes low on the QBs above replacement. 2013, people were excited to see Tommy, because the Taylor Martinez Q rating had gone down by that point, and he was hurt. And so Tommy came in, and then Tommy did a nice job for the end of 2013. Then we get into some really, really fun times. Are we ready to discuss these fellas?
Let's go.
All right. So Taylor's backup in 2012 was Ron Kellogg. There was always an RK3 hive.
Yes.
There was always an RK3 hive, especially after the Hail Mary in 13.
Yeah.
But this is in 12. Breon Carnes was Tater's direct backup in 2011. There was a Breon Carnes hive. Mm-hmm. Cody Green was Taylor Martinez's backup in 10.
Oh, I don't remember that.
That had sort of, Cody's Q rating had sort of, this is at the height of Taylor's Q rating. Like 2010, we
didn't need a backup.
We didn't know the journey we were going to be on with Taylor Martinez yet. Yeah, and it was just Taylor Martinez. So that never really mattered. And then 2009 was kind of like they just went with Zach Lee because he was less likely to make mistakes, but Cody Green was his backup that year. Does anybody remember who Joe Gans's backup was in 2008? Because Joe Gans took over the job in 2007 from Sam Keller, and then in 2008, he had a great year, obviously. It was Patrick Witt. I had to look this up.
Oh, yeah.
It was Patrick Witt. Nobody wanted Patrick Witt.
Uh-huh.
Nobody wanted Patrick Witt. And then, there was Gans and Keller, or Keller, then Gans in 07. Gans was Zach Taylor's backup in 06. Nobody really cared about that at that point. Harrison Beck was Zach Taylor's backup in 05. Nobody really cared about that. And then, because the moral of the story is here, when you have a good quarterback, and maybe this is the realization out of all this. When you have a starting quarterback that has a high Q rating, you are less excited to see the backup. And I think people are kind of excited to see the Tiffy at this point. There's been a Tiffy hive, obviously. And so what does that tell you about Dylan's Q rating? It's always been a rocky thing.
Yeah.
With people in Dylan. He's not a dual threat quarterback. He doesn't run. He doesn't take care.
I feel like he
gets sacked too much.
They want to love him, but
yes,
they're still a little like, I can't.
So
I can't untether myself.
However much excitement you have for the backup quarterback actually tells you a little bit more about your starting quarterback and how people feel about him. And maybe that's the lesson here. There was Bo Davis. There was Joe Daly. I don't think anybody really wanted to see Jamal Lord and what he would do in 2001, considering the quarterback won the Heisman that year. But yeah, maybe that's the lesson, sort of from all of this stuff, because I think there is a little renewed excitement. I don't know. It's also paired along with existential dread, because definitely. You're heading into the final 3 games of the season. They're all tough, and you're coming off this big loss, and your starting quarterback broke his leg. So it's a weird cocktail of emotions right now. Excitement to see what happens next. Learn a lot about TJ Lateef. Learn a lot about Daniel Holgerson and the offense. Also, existential dread, because we're heading into, the hornet's nest part of the season. November has not been kind to Nebraska.
So
where does he go? Where does TJ go? Nebraska QB's above replacement.
I do want to answer your question.
Oh, do we have news?
What? No, I just kind of at random. I looked up.
Hey, focus on something else.
What is Patrick Witt up to?
Oh, okay. Whoa. Well, don't look up what Harrison Beck's up to.
No, I would never.
Don't do that.
There is a man named Patrick Witt currently employed in the U.S. Department of War.
Department of War?
And gosh, he looks a lot like the Patrick Witt who played at Nebraska.
Okay.
But that's not part of his bio.
All right.
And I don't
know. I don't know what guys do.
You guys look it up and get back to me if you think
that's what you were doing this entire time.
Yes, it was.
Jeez.
I was like a dog with a bone. I was like, is this the Patrick Witt?
Let's go ahead and chase this.
So
I want to get everyone's thoughts on this at the top of the noon hour, because so send in your texts and your comments and sort of describe to me your feelings right now and how you feel about Lateef.
Oh, Charles says same guy,
and then Dylan, and then some of these other guys as well, like Jeff, who writes in, he says Young Me was definitely in the Cody Green hive because he was highly rated in the video games.
That would have a huge effect on you as a kid. You're
would.
like, oh man, I'm balling out with this guy.
It would.
He must be great.
I don't even think Lateef is on the game. this year.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, you have to like recreate TJ Latif in the aggregate.
Oh, that's not fair.
No, it's not. It's not at all. All right, quick break. Odd news. Get your thoughts in. We'll rediscuss this in the new.
I got Tiffy takes as well. So
Josh has Tiffy
I can
takes. He can stop
contribute.
looking up things about Patrick Witt, and we'll be back with the odd news next on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys?
If you're 55 or older and into that whole
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
All right, Josh, time for the odd news. Excited to get people's QBQ rating thoughts. We'll get back to that here in just a couple moments. First of all, is there anything that's happened in the news?
I wanted to read a quote from Mitch Sherman.
Who said it? Matt Rule.
Matt Rule.
Oh yeah, he is talking today.
This is from Mitch.
Uh-oh.
Y'all,
whoa, why are you exasperated?
Because y'all let me know what you think when you hear this. The Nebraska football team will fly to Los Angeles on Friday ahead of its game at UCLA. But some of the details are, quote, very much up in the air, Coach Matt Rule says, because of the impact of the U.S. government shutdown.
Well, I mean, that makes, I guess that makes some sense. I mean, LA is a major
Yes,
market
and
in a
it's-
major airport, and I would imagine it makes it trickier to fly into that place at this moment.
they're just, I mean, they're not going to make them like circle LAX.
No, I would say that they'll probably just make them not take off until they get the proper airspace that's cleared up in Los Angeles.
I think they'll be fine.
So what was the wording there? Very, very up in the air. Very up in the air.
Very up in the air.
Very up in the air. It will cause a delay, likely of some kind, and then there's the traffic that you have to deal with.
They'll get there.
Oh, we had a lot of travel concerns this year, haven't we? Yeah,
It's a big conference.
Hey, shout out to all of our TSA people, man. Just working for the last 5 weeks without a paycheck.
That wouldn't be me.
Agreed. And we are about to go into big travel time.
Oh, AAA's got that draft ready to go. They just need to click send on it.
This is not good. This is not a good combination. I would like the government to be working.
Good take, Connor.
Yeah.
You should tweet that.
I can't.
Okay. I have an update on the robbery that occurred at the Louvre. The Louvre.
Oh yeah.
On October 18th. Thieves broke into the famous Paris Museum and in 7 minutes stole more than $100 million in jewels. Some of the employees of the museum are talking, which can't be good.
No, they were going to want to go ahead and shut that down.
Yeah, at the time of the heist, the password for the museum's security system was Louvre.
That's a bad thing to be revealed.
A museum employee with knowledge of the system told ABC News on Wednesday. I couldn't watch it, so I wouldn't know, but I trust the source. The French outlet Libération first reported on the password, citing confidential documents. According to the outlet, France's National Cybersecurity Agency revealed the password in a 2014 audit. So not only is the password very guessable, it's been the password for 11 years now.
That's not what you want. Usually they'll email you once a year and they'll say, hey, you got to change this up. That's what it does for my work, like how I get my paychecks. They're like every 6 months I try to log in there and they're like, nope, you got to change your password. It's been the case for 6 months. I'm like, all right, I only have so many letters.
It cannot be any of the last 4 passwords.
Yes,
you use.
it's hard.
It is.
It actually becomes really hard. So do better, Louvre. I don't know that it would have helped them in that situation because they just broke in the window and they had their own mechanical ladder that they used.
Yeah.
So, but now we're learning a lot about the security level of the Louvre, which turned out to actually be not very good.
Pretty low.
Sad.
It makes the next Oceans installment very interesting. Like, oh, what if we just guessed the password and got in?
That's a movie.
Yep.
That's a movie. Plaquette says FanDuel makes me change my password every 3 to 6 months, but the Louvre said bleep it. Seriously.
Yeah.
They send you an email. They're like, it's been your password for too long. You have to stop now.
Just for your sake. Also,
yeah, if I'm in Paris,
would you like dual factor?
If I'm in Paris, man, like I am not going to the Louvre. I'm out on the Louvre. That seems like a disaster.
I would feel obligated to go one time, but
I'd
yes,
maybe
I
want
would
to drive
agree.
by it. I'm not going to the Louvre. I'm not waiting in that line to go to the Louvre.
I would not.
Just to be able to tell your American friends that you went to the Louvre.
I guess I'd like to. I know there's a big line for the Mona Lisa. I guess I'd like to just walk by it. I don't need to stand and stare at it. Like, oh, it's over there. Okay, cool.
I'm not going to the Mona Lisa. I've seen it. I've seen pictures.
Yeah. What? Yeah. What's the real thing gonna get you?
Nothing.
We go to Minnesota, where a 66-year-old man was spotted outside his home chainsawing, and this is a quote from a witness: chainsawing while butt-ass naked.
Yeah. What's up with all these naked people?
Who say the suspect has frequently been spotted by neighbors Paul Severson was charged Tuesday with disorderly conduct.
Severson, huh?
Yeah. That's
Better be careful.
yeah.
About to be a more interesting news story here
yep.
soon.
Disorderly conduct in connection with alleged nude displays outside his residence in the city of Lake Crystal, also Minnesota. Doesn't it get cold up there? After interviewing multiple witnesses,
I was in the pool.
a sheriff's deputy observed a nude Severson appear from behind a shed. The cop advised Severson that he could not be naked outside with children around. Neighbors reported that Severson did yard work while in the nude.
What's up with all these rules about like, hey, you can't be naked because there's kids around? How about you just can't be naked?
Can't be naked. I don't need you naked outside. I'm an adult.
We don't need to use the kids as an excuse. Like, I don't. You can't be naked. Period. Just make it a rule. There should be no why to that.
Yeah.
Well, why can't I be naked? Because that's the rules. You have to wear clothes.
Oh, this was America.
Well,
Free country.
I know my rights.
Free country.
There's no kids present. Dude, put on pants, you idiot.
Yeah.
Especially while you're chainsawing. One of the dumbest things you could possibly do is chainsaw naked. Could you imagine?
No.
That's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
That'd be a poll question right now if we could.
It would.
But it can't be.
Can't.
Because polls are dead.
Yep. We end in Florida, where a man pulled a knife on another man at a Miami Publix.
It's always a Publix.
Because he was taking too long in the bathroom.
Hey, I wanted to kill the guy who was making my pub subs when I went to do that. When I went to get pub subs, last time I was at a Publix. I ordered it online and it was like 11:30, and all of a sudden I get to the deli counter and there's like 40 people sitting there waiting for pub subs, and they're like, "Oh, we can't keep up with all this." That's the point of ordering online.
Interesting sort of checking of our facts from Platcat here. Yesterday, quote, I'd drive a truck for 14 hours without pants.
Yeah, you're not in public.
Today, don't be nude.
You're not
Put
in public.
some pants on.
Not in public. Can't see me. Can't see me.
Let's see.
Also, I'm covered with a blanket.
Thankfully, the victim was able to use a large book bag to defend himself from the knife.
I mean, I guess I feel bad for the Publix workers because they seem to have aggression get taken out of them on them a lot. But I was nearly aggressive to a Publix worker the last time I was at a Publix. It was about as mad as you're gonna see me because I hate waiting. Like I hate wasting time. That's what I should say. I hate wasting.
It's our most
time.
valuable resource,
and so that's when I get bothered. And my version of being super aggressive is just being a little bit mean to the worker, and they apologize. They say, "Well, I'm so sorry about your wait," and I'll say, "Yeah, go." I'll say whatever, and then I'll leave. That's about as aggressive as you're going to see me. So I don't mean I was actually going to kill the Publix worker. Kill them with words. Hopefully that works.
If a Publix worker turns up dead,
I'll tell you what, though, I ate that pub sub on the beach. It was good. That just reminded me. I brought a bag of salt and vinegar chips today. I'm going to eat those.
I saw there was a Ziploc baggie of chips on your desk.
What do you think about that?
That's what I do for my son when I pack his lunch in the morning.
I am now your son.
It's okay.
I didn't want to go to the vending machine. Then I realized I had a big old bag of chips, and I just piled them in a Ziploc bag.
Perfectly cost effective.
That's what I'm going to do when we take this break.
Now Matt McMaster is my son, and now you are I got two sons.
Many sons.
That's more sons than I have in real life.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is the odd news. Noon hour is coming up on 1620 The Zone.
He gives you the latest sports news, interviews, and life-changing commentary with a smile on his face. Because he wears those ticklish underpants.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Noon hour, the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. We also, I forgot to mention this earlier, we have a pair of Mav hockey tickets for tomorrow night that we still got to give away today on the show. So listen for the Q2 call, Josh. We will have that obviously at some point within the next 2 hours.
I will listen for that.
So we, I'm glad. Also, I have eaten about half of my bag of chips.
Yeah, you did.
It is a little, I will say, it's a little rinky dink. You know, I don't mind packing a lunch, but it just seems so rinky dink to bring your own bag of chips. You know, like I want to have the, like a,
Yeah.
not to bring your own chips, but to package your own chips.
It looks poor.
I knew that was going to go there. What are you saying? Maybe I'm poor now.
Yeah. Times are tough.
Perfect. I don't have Twitter.
Don't have Twitter.
And
You
now
don't have
I'm
you don't have E
poor.
ESPN.
I don't have ESPN. All the narratives around me have shifted completely. What's next? I stop honking.
You're not wearing Rowback anymore.
That's true. I'm wearing a different. I don't actually know what this is.
Bird Crew.
What's a bird? It's for the Bird Club,
Oh yeah.
but I don't know what it.
You don't know what brand. You don't even know what brand.
It's probably.
It is.
It's actually probably another very expensive brand.
Oh, okay. Well, let's not dive into that any
Got
further.
it for free. Okay, I got it for free.
I got this for free. It's from Adidas.
Adidas, a great brand, very expensive unless you go to the outlets, of course. From the 402.
Hi 402.
Must be nice to be rich, Connor. I've been packaging my own chips for years. There's just something wrong about it. I don't know. Yeah, Clint on Facebook. Way to go, Clint. Listening on Facebook.
That's where the action's
no more
at.
blueberries. Now we still have blueberries.
Did you pack a bag of blueberries?
I didn't bring fruit
Now,
to work.
now
Could you imagine Connor Happer bringing a Tupperware of fruit to work? Could not ever be me.
probably get you laughed at a little bit. Now I do notice that is a Ziploc brand Ziploc bag.
No, it's Hefty.
Oh, Hefty. Okay.
It says Hefty. Is that different?
Well, it is still a name brand. You're not going with the generic grocery store brand. So you're not there yet. You'll get there.
Not super rich.
You're mid.
These chips are good. They make my mouth water. Salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar chips make your mouth water.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And I was eating them I was eating quite a lot of them during the break there. All right. So welcome back. Noon hours here. I'm poor again. And and I'm just gonna start giving away stuff. We're selling it off. We're selling it off for parts. We're giving away Omaha hockey tickets throughout the rest of the show. We get Blur Party passes for the Iowa game. So 1620thezone.com, by the way, for that. I can't physically give them away for you, but we do want to party with you. So check out 1620thezone.com for that. YouTube comment here. I think, who is that? This whole thing is still,
I don't like it.
Wrong for me. I think that's I think that might be TC. What kind of chips are those? They are, I don't know the brand. I got a giant bag of them from Costco. But it's like a giant navy blue bag. And it's just salt and vinegar chips.
Okay.
They are very salty and vinegary. I will say that. I'm on a salt and vinegar chips kick at the moment. All right. So back to the backup quarterback thing. You guys said some comments on it earlier.
I'm going to focus and listen this time.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. But we're going to read some listener comments. Here's Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Absolutely not, Connor. It's not the player, it's the staff. So Michael is saying he does not feel confident about Tiffy coming in because of the staff. I don't feel confident because I feel this coaching staff will handicap him. They won't let his full potential shine for whatever reason. Well, I'll tell you for what reason. They will call a vanilla game because at this point they feel like they're playing not to lose instead of not playing to win. I don't think they'll prepare him well. And to be honest, anymore, I feel Nebraska has become a program where quarterbacks come to die. And wow, that got dark really quick. And they have to leave to get their chance to shine. Well, I mean, put yourself in their shoes. You can understand their position here, right? Whether you like it or not, we are not going to get the full TJ Lateef experience over the next 3 games. They have to lean hard and heavy into their defense and Emmett Johnson. And the only way that plan works is if you're not turning the ball over. And so you can't afford to have your quarterback like sit there and for these last 3 games of this season, like learn on the job and make all these freshman mistakes. And the only way to address that issue is to take the control or part of the control out of his hands. He's still going to have to make plays. Like he's still going to have to be good, but his role is going to be vastly different from that of Dylan Raiola, not only because of his skill set, but just because of the trust level. And you don't get that trust unless you just play enough. So maybe by the Iowa game, he's doing more. Maybe by the Penn State game and after the bye week, he's taking more shots and taking more chances and putting the ball in harm's way a little bit more. And he's able to trust himself. But going into this game, like Nebraska can't afford to have him make a lot of mistakes. I don't think so. That's the way I see it. And it's not some like, oh, they're not gonna, let him shine because they don't want him to shine or whatever. Now, some of it ties back to the fact that I think this coaching staff is just conservative. And so when met with this decision of how do we play this, they're going to lean conservative every time. And I think that all adds up, that plus the lack of trust and all that. I mean, they didn't even trust. They had to pare down Dylan. They're having to pare down Dylan a little bit as well. So I just think this is a rule, like almost a micromanager thing.
Savior Raiola Mafia won't let Lateef succeed.
Is that a narrative? Is that, I genuinely don't know. Is that a comment? I could see that being a comment.
I have seen it before.
Yeah, I just don't I think there's very regular and normal reasons and explainable reasons why you won't get the full TJ Lateef experience.
I think,
and I just explained them. It's just they are conservative and they can't afford to screw up. They can't. So when they're doing that, they're going to have to go into a little bit of a shell here. It's not because they don't want to see TJ shine. Like TJ, the best possible result for TJ Lateef is that he does the things he's asked really well. And then as we go on throughout these next 4 weeks, 3 games, he gets more and more. Mm-hmm. And he builds and he builds and he builds and he gets more comfortable. But the fact of the matter is, and Rule mentioned this today, he put the ball on the ground a couple times in his limited opportunities on Saturday night. I get it. Scramble situation, big game environment, but he got the ball punched out of bounds because he had the ball in the wrong hand and he fumbled a snap on a play that looked like it was going places. They can't have that, right? And every little piece of what guys do affects the coaching staff's trust. It's not binary, like, oh, he drops the ball and I don't trust him anymore. But it's like, all right, well, if you put the ball in harm's way a couple times, then chances are I'm not going to dial up something for you where you have to put the ball in harm's way because I don't trust you to be able to make that play safely. And safe, I think, is the name of the game over the last 3 games here, or at least that's how I think they're going to play it. I don't know if that's how they should play it, but I do think that's how they're going to play it.
I mean, I guess it makes sense to have some training wheels on because of his inexperience, and I understand Nebraska struggled with every opponent, but because of the opponent, Like, okay, maybe this is the one of the 3 remaining games where we can get away with handcuffing ourselves just a little bit.
Whoa! And by the way, just a quick aside here on chips. So Teresa.
Oh yeah, she had a great take.
So I think these are Miss Vicky's, by the way.
Okay,
and
you love Miss Vicky's.
It says I have an opinion. Day late. Miss Vicky's spicy pickle chips are the best at Costco. The spicy pickle or spicy jalapeno, whatever they are.
You like the spicy dill pickle chips from Costco.
Thank you,
Miss Vicky's.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you for telling me what I think, because you're right. You're right, and they're seasonal. But those are so good. They're so good. They're so good that you go. They're one of the things at Costco where you go up to the register and you buy them, and they're like, "Oh boy, you made a good choice. You better stock up now because they're about to be gone." And I'm like, "I know, how exciting." Anyway, back to the backup quarterback situation. Here's Terry. Just thinking, because we're not winning as much as we used to. In the winning days, we used to play the second string quarterback a lot when the game was in hand. And now we're not. So we don't see a lot of the backup. That's what Terry says. So we are definitely in the era of, as we said before, the starting quarterback, if that guy is, if there's a holdup within the fan base in some way, shape, or form, you are more likely to want to see the backup quarterback. But I think what Terry is talking about is what you actually get from the backup quarterback. And TJ's an open book. I genuinely don't know what his ceiling is, and I wasn't necessarily prepared to explore that possibility at this level, but you're going to find out a lot, I think, in the next 3 games, or at least, get some clues. Pedro says this.
Hi, Pedro.
Hi, guys. I think the NIL deal is poisoning the water for the starting quarterback, and now we know what he makes, and it pisses people off. That's an interesting.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's a thought, I guess, on Dylan. By people, Pedro, I think, means fans.
You people.
Yeah, I not everybody is comfortable with football players making $2 million or $3 million
or $1
or $1. Yeah, not everybody is comfortable with that. That's definitely a part of this. Here is the 316.
316.
We all want to love Dylan because we know what he passed on to come to Nebraska. I'm curious to see what Tiffy can do. I'm almost afraid of him doing really good. Then what happens next year? #quarterback controversy. Yeah, you just so happen to land in the, we always thought about like what happens if Dylan goes out. But really the scenario in which he goes out is, in the situation in which he goes out, is the most interesting one, because like if this is a short term, a half or a game, you want TJ Lateef to come in and like do awesome, because there's no repercussions of it. And I don't really know if like he wouldn't jump to the front of the line no matter what if he does well in these next 3 games, but it comes with a little bit of a different circumstance because Dylan's out for the rest of the season, and this becomes sort of a delayed audition, I guess, for TJ Lateef. And that is, of course, if Dylan is here next year, which we have no indication to believe that he's not going to be here next year, but that always sticks in people's minds too, because of the transfer portal and open and the NIL and all of that of the world. But yeah, the circumstances are really important in which a backup quarterback takes over. Let's take a phone call here on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Here's Bad Takes Doug. Hi, Doug.
Hey, guys. Hey, first off, Creighton looked really good last night. I mean, that's coming from me, a Husker fan. So, man, a lot of scorers on that team. It's going to be good.
All right. Cool. Nice.
But,
nice.
So maybe that's a good take. But anyway, so two points. One is, and I don't know the person personally, but in Berzal's words, iron sharpens iron. So the late great, and so if Latif pushes Dylan, it's a win-win for Nebraska. Either way, it ends with either or. And then the second point is, okay, we're not going to the playoffs, so who cares? So why not let Latif, see what he can do? Like maybe give him some plays, let him run things. Like, we're in we're in a bowl game. We got 6, right? We're not going to be whatever in 2. We're not. So like, give him 2 games, and then go beat the crap out of Iowa. So that would be the best plan for me. So I don't know what your thoughts are on those 2 points.
Thanks for the call, Doug. Appreciate you. Sounded sarcastic on the Creighton thing, mostly because Creighton didn't look very good last night.
I thought that's where it was going, and then it never went there.
Yeah, the guy Husker fan calls in. He goes, "Hey, Creighton looked pretty good last night, right?" I'm like, "Okay, I know what you're doing here." Okay, but he was serious. Okay, there's some potential there. So, and then the other thing was, why not just let him go? Why not just let him do his thing? Like, here's why. Number one, first and foremost, because he is a freshman. He's a true freshman. And nobody is really ready to just be let go as a true freshman. Especially when you're not the starting quarterback to start the year.
Johnny Manziel.
This is the 10th game. Okay. You're just not. I don't think he started as a true freshman.
I don't know. Somebody did.
Many people have started as true freshmen, but a lot of times their lives are made easier by the coaches who just have to. Everybody's got to be a little bit better around them. And then I think the second part is something that I mentioned earlier too. You also don't want to just say, "All right, show's yours, TJ. Everything that Dylan was doing, you are now expected to do." And once again, first and foremost, because he's a freshman. And second of all, because he is a freshman, you're going to have to fight through and battle through some mistakes and bad things that happen during football games, specifically turnovers. Those are the biggest things that happen for freshmen in football games. And you just can't afford it. You have to win. You have to win. Ultimately, that is a big response into why they're going to do what they do, because they have to win. They got to win. And turning the ball over is antithetical to winning at this point. It does not help winning.
Teach them that 5 points ball security thing and let them run around out there.
You think so? Wait.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Let him make plays with his legs.
So in your mind, is that letting him go, or is that reining him in?
In my mind, that would be letting him go.
Like, you want to do that. So you agree with Bad Takes Doug.
Trusting him to could just go. If the play we called, if it's not there, commit.
No, I have
commit to running the ball.
Let's get this straight. Like, they will be running the ball, and he will be running, right? But what I'm talking about, as far as the letting him go or hemming him in thing, it's about how much responsibility he has. It's about how much is on his plate, not necessarily what he's doing.
Very little.
Okay, good. We're on the same page there, because, like I said, they just can't afford to screw up very much.
In one of those moments where maybe Matt Rule was too truthful at the podium, it's not on TJ Latif. It's on everyone else.
It's on everybody else. Yeah. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Hi, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Stop treating Latif like he can't do anything. Now, are you talking to the coaching staff, or are you talking to me? Maybe
probably the coaching staff.
I guess both.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, known Rule denier.
But
Connor just forced you. No, he didn't force me.
I wanted to get clarity.
Yeah, he clarified.
It's called clarity.
Yeah.
We were talking about different things. So I hear this is something that we hear. Like, you got to stop treating Latif like he's
a kid.
He is. He's literally a child. He's a freshman.
But Connor, Dylan Raiola was a freshman just last year.
But Dylan always, so here's the difference, and it's a fair point. Here's the difference. He always knew that he was going to be the starting quarterback from day one.
He was quite literally bred to.
When he committed to Nebraska in December of 2023, he knew that second he was going to be Nebraska's starting quarterback the next year. And so he spent 6-8 months preparing as if he was the starting quarterback and taking in all that. And he's an advanced player. And not that TJ's not, but when TJ Lateef committed to Nebraska, he knew that Dylan Raiola was going to be the quarterback before him for like 3 consecutive years at least, right? And this is, we're 2/3 of the way through the second year, and he has to be thrust into the equation suddenly, not with 6 to 8 to 9 months of getting your mind in position to be the starting quarterback at Nebraska, right? And same thing with the coaching staff, who was tasked with devising a game plan around Dylan Raiola, and now you have to put it together in 6 days. That's why people are treating TJ Lateef that way. They're treating him like a backup quarterback because he is. He's the backup quarterback for Nebraska. You don't just say, here you go, backup quarterback, time to just win, like throw the football down the field and you have everything on your plate and you were just Dylan. No. You have to admit that Nebraska loses a lot with Dylan Raiola not being there anymore from a leadership perspective and from a decision-making perspective, and checks at the line of scrimmage, whatever it might be. Mason Daniel says, to be fair, we all knew TJ would have to play minutes in that manner, or in that matter, he says, in that manner. Yeah.
We discussed this as a very real possibility in the offseason, right?
But you never
it's always a surprise when it happens.
Right. So you're giving TJ reps in practice throughout the week, limited, by the way, because what are you working on? The top unit. But you're you can't prepare for the exact situation it's going to be. I just don't think you could say, all right, here you go. We're prepared for this exact situation. It's 14-6 in the USC game in the third quarter, and Dylan broke his leg, and you're going in. And it's yours now.
Now that would be a great coach if he was able to.
If he found that, all the credit in the world to him.
I'd be telling everybody though if I was.
He's like O's the mentalist. All right, to the phones. Here is Todd on the J-Tech Construction Zone. Nope, on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Hey, Todd, what's up?
Hey, a couple things. One, to the previous point, I think competition is great, and if there wasn't competition there already, that's an issue. The second point on your last point about the difference between two freshmen, do you know TJ personally? Because I bet you he came to Nebraska thinking he had a chance to start. He had a chance to beat out Dylan. Those kind of guys don't think they're second best. Now, as far as him actually coming in, as the backup, I get that, but buddy of mine's a really good coach in Nebraska high school, and I asked him that specifically about how do you not give the second guy reps in practice when your starter's getting sacked, the most sacked in the country. And he said it's tough because you only have so much time. I get that,
yep.
But I think you think you do what you can do, that he does what he does best, and hopefully everybody else. You put him in a position to win. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah.
For him to be successful, not win. Sorry, for him to be successful, and you go from there. But I don't think that kid thinks, "Oh, I'm the backup. I'm no good." I think he thought he could start the whole time he came here.
Yeah, probably. And thanks for the call, Todd. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, he was a great player in high school, but he also has eyes and ears, and I'm sure they told him when he got here, you got a chance to be our backup this year, and that's an important deal. So you got to embrace that. I'm sure that's what they told him. And we always do this like, oh man, there needs to be competition at the quarterback position. Guys, everybody, like, we're not idiots. They're not idiots. They could see it just as well as everybody else can. You have an entrenched starter at quarterback. All right. There's no competition. Everybody tries to get better every single day to prepare themselves for ultimately the moment when they come into the game. But the starting quarterback is the starting quarterback. We got eyes. We could see it.
Yep.
And he deserves to be the starting quarterback. That should be mentioned here as well. Here is Rick on the hotline. Hey, Rick.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Just real quick, earlier you guys were talking about, maybe some some feeling of excitement or some renewed energy or something about that excitement seeing Latif come in, and you go, oh boy, that says a lot for the starter, right?
Yeah, right.
In my opinion, I think, Husker Nation, this guy, Dylan was a 5-star. You just kind of contradicted yourself a little bit ago when you go, well, wait a minute, Dylan was a freshman last year, and boy, nobody felt concerned. I think everybody was enthused, and there's just no comparison with the 5-star quarterback to TJ Latif. I mean, Raiola could have went anywhere, right? And Latif's a 4-star. It's all good, but I don't think we can fairly compare the two. You're not comparing apples to apples there. But with that said, needless to say, we have to be prepared to go into this, and everybody around them has to rally. And just a quick question, how many true freshmen have started for us? I know Adrian Martinez, Dylan, and kind of going back down the line, how many true freshmen have we really thrown into that position? So just kind of curious to what you guys thought.
Yeah.
Take it from there.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to look at it, Rick. I guess I hadn't really thought about it that way. I mean, so Adrian obviously started right away, and then before that, I mean, when
that was it, right?
When Tommy took over, I mean, so it was Tanner Lee before that. He was not a true freshman. Tommy in 16, not a senior Tommy, junior Tommy, sophomore Tommy, freshman Tommy. After I think a redshirt year, and maybe he was a true freshman in 13. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, actually check that, Josh. 13. Was Tommy Armstrong a true freshman or a redshirt freshman when he came in for Taylor Martinez? I don't know the answer to that question because I know he played 14, 15, and 16, sophomore, junior, senior, but I guess I don't know if he redshirted in 12.
I'm looking.
Okay. Yeah.
2012, he redshirted.
Okay. There you go. So he was a redshirt freshman when
I remember a bunch of stats last year when Dylon started that. Oh, first freshman that started Nebraska. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, he was. I mean, Adrian.
Yeah.
Adrian was, the first in a while before that, because then you go back down this list, and Taylor Martinez was a redshirt freshman, and I think you'd have to go way, way back after that. All right, so let's take a quick time out. We can take more thoughts on this, by the way. Oh, we're talking about backup quarterbacks, baby. Gets the people going.
Hell yeah.
It's provocative. Back after this on 1620 The Zone. Yeah, isn't today Matt Rule Day on McAfee, or did he cancel his appearance this week?
Didn't have any big news to break.
Elko's on there right now.
Ryan Day was just on there. SMU's coach, Rhett Lashley.
Wonder when Rule recorded his segment with McAfee this week.
He's going to give him that government shutdown
scoop. If you're Pat McAfee, do you at what point do you cancel your segment with Rule? At what point do you not want him on the show anymore?
Yeah, because I haven't seen
there's only
the
good
three,
coaches.
Yeah, the three coaches that are on today.
That was mean. I apologize. There's only winning successful coaches on here, like currently winning successful coaches.
I mean, I think you would ask him about the injury. Hey, how's Darla doing?
What is it? So do a lot of the ESPN national audience care about this whole national news thing? Is very
careful.
I know we are treading in dangerous waters. Tread lightly. Maybe it's best to tread lightly.
Now, I like having.
Why do they care so much about what the national?
I like having the SMU coach on because
it's better for the brand.
I'm not watching SMU football. It'd be nice for him to.
I'd like to know about him a little.
Tell
bit.
me about the program that might again make the college football playoff.
Yeah, but that's a program you need to know about.
Mm-hmm. Do I not need to know about Texas A&M?
No, you do need to. You need to know about Texas A&M. Do you need to know about Nebraska?
Oh, okay. Well, yes, of course.
Is he having Barry Odom on the show today? Is he having like what's a mid-tier ACC team? Is he having old boy who went on the car podcast on? Is he having Narduzzi on? Narduzzi's actually great on the.
Have him on.
Yeah.
And
Rule is good. Rule is obviously very good on the radio and TV too.
Is he still the coach of West Virginia? Where
Rich Rod?
Oh no, he was at Pitt. That's right.
Pitt. Yeah, he's still there. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, remember the car podcast?
I do.
That's where we had to get all our information about Mark Whipple.
Car podcast.
Because he said some bad things about Whip.
Yeah,
Whip
yeah,
Nation.
he hates that guy.
Scott Frost, Pat Narduzzi, handshake me.
Get them both on the car podcast.
I don't get the whole like. I mean, I guess they want their program to be a nationally relevant.
Yeah, that's where the eyeballs are. So go
that's
there.
That's where the volume is. It's the same. Ooh, you ready for this comp?
Okay.
Okay. It's not a Breaking Bad comp.
Sure, I'll believe it when I see it.
It's the same reason that the Big Ten invited Rutgers to the conference.
Okay.
Like nobody actually cares about Rutgers.
New York market.
It's just the New York market. It's just the available eyes to you. Don't you want to? And how good has that been for Rutgers? I'd say not very good. I'd say not very good. How good has that been for the Big Ten? I'd say not very good. So, like, don't you?
Well, for Rutgers, it's great, right?
Well, they just get money, but like, Rutgers is never going to be a Big Ten brand.
Where would Rutgers be if they weren't in the Big Ten?
The
ACC?
I don't know. That's a great question. They might have dropped football with
Coosa?
the Big East. I'm not sure, but like, what good does it do? Don't you want to play to the audience that actually cares, already cares about you, or are they just thinking, yeah, we already got them.
You got them.
They're coming along for the ride no matter what. And that has been proven to be true, I suppose. But certain times, I can understand why local people would feel alienated by Nebraska and some of the initiatives that they've put forth. And like you said, Josh, for good reason. I mean, it's where the money is. It's where the eyes are. It's where the brand value comes from. More people know about your program. More people know about how cool you are. The more people want to go play at your football program and watch your football program and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a long play that way. But I can understand why local people feel a bit alienated at times.
Wrestling fans have this where they're often complaining about the product and they're like, why don't they do the things that wrestling fans want them to do? It's like, well, you're locked in each and every week. You're watching the shows.
I would just rather
We're trying to get new viewers.
Yeah. And I like I said, I can't argue with that. Like I understand why that's good. I understand why that's good. But I always say this, when people do the whole growing the game baseball thing, like why can't they make baseball for baseball people? Why can't they make Nebraska? Why can't they make Nebraska for Nebraskans?
So do you want
Nebraska is not for Nebraskans. Nebraska is for everybody else.
Do you want Matt Rule
Nebraska
to
is for podcasts.
stumble onto the set with Rusty Lord and like, hey, Rusty, can I point at the map today?
It's not about media appearances. It's specifically, although that is a part of it. But I don't know. It just feels at times Nebraska's gone this direction. We're trying to be big and national, and we don't have time for any of the.
That reminds me,
the folks back in Nebraska.
Zach Gelb on the newest edition of House Rules today.
I could just think they're worried about the wrong stuff sometimes.
Oh, definitely.
Like some of the most successful individual programs around the country in whatever sport, like they just do not care about any of that stuff. They just do their own thing. And guess what? People start going to their games and pay attention to them because they identify with the way they do their business and they win all the time. How do you think Gonzaga became a national brand in basketball?
Incremental progress.
They just kept winning and winning and winning and did it in a very, very specific way for a long time. And then all of a sudden, one day you woke up, you're like, oh my God, Gonzaga is a national brand. They're one of the blue bloods of college basketball.
They beat ranked teams.
They did it the old-fashioned way. They did it because they won. They just won and won and won and won over and over again. You can't artificially create. You can't artificially make yourself into something that you're not. I don't know. Small rant.
No, I think you're right.
Small rant. John writes in.
Hi, John.
I like it. Matt Rule is Rutgers. Many people have many thoughts on my comps today.
I like it. It's fun.
All right, we're back. We're going to grunt the slate. Coming up on 1620 The Zone.
Upon further review, the host point is good. The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Honk, honk.
Grunt the slate, grunt the slate, grunt the slate. I'm gonna grunt the slate, grunt the slate. Gonna grunt the slate. Grunt the slate, grunt the slate. Grunt the slate. Grunt the slate.
It's time to grunt the slate. Josh, you know about the sexy Dexy? You ever do the sexy?
Tell me
You ever
everything.
do the sexy Dexy? Check it out. That's back when I had the internet. I knew about that. Now I lost it. Check out the sexy
It's
Dexy.
a dance?
It's a dance.
That you
it's a
just did in your chair?
It's a dance that you could probably do.
Okay.
And I do mean that.
Not offended.
I do mean that. I'm not much of a dancer myself either, but when I saw that the sexy Dexy was taking over, I thought this is the right dance for me.
Can I Google that?
Yes, of course.
Like Dexy's Midnight Runners?
Yes,
Dexter Lawrence II.
that's right.
Is what came up.
That's right. That's right.
Sexy Dexy
Yeah.
replacing the gritty question
I
mark?
think so. I think so.
All right. I mean,
This is at least what I was led to believe once again when I had the internet.
remember the internet, kids?
I
Boy.
do not. I bet you could do it. Are you looking at a video?
I'm trying to.
Eh.
Instagram, can't load that on a computer. TikTok, can't load that on a computer.
You can't load Instagram on your computer?
No.
What's wrong with that?
It wants you to log in. I'm not logging in.
You don't have to log in. Just watch a video.
There we go. Sexy Notre Dexy. Oh, look at that big man move.
I know.
Okay.
What do you think? You think you could
I
pull
could,
off?
I could probably do that.
You
Yeah.
could do the sexy
Yeah.
Dexy. That could be our next video content. Everyone does the sexy Dexy.
Our director of video is always making us do extra videos.
John
for
Bishop
video
doing
content.
the sexy Dexy.
That's the play. That's the play.
He would
not
never,
us.
ever,
Not
ever,
us.
ever, ever, ever do that. Ever. Ever. Not even if there was a fire. By the way,
Not even if there was a fire.
Black Cat says Connor
Black
just
Cat.
got back from Costco, Kettle Brand, salt and bin chips. That's the one.
Mm.
That's the one. Also, highly recommend brownie sundae from the food court. Not much of a Sunday guy, but I respect it.
See, if we had the internet, are you a Sunday guy?
SUNDAE.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, to the slate we go.
Many of those games taking place on Sunday.
That's true, and I will be able to watch all of them.
Will you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Well, I mean, except for I think there's volleyball on Sunday, but that none of them
You
will be
have-
on ESPN,
Sure.
which is awesome for
Until Monday.
me. Until Monday. We begin tonight. Amazon Prime Video. Have you seen their new wood-paneled studio? Raiders at Broncos.
Okay, I'm gonna go into the bag early here.
This has a high potential to be 12-10.
Yeah.
Short week.
One of those classic Thursday night games.
I was listening to Gary and Matt this morning, and Gary was like, "Oh, I'm in my survivor pool right now, and everybody's telling me to take Denver this week." I said, "Don't do that. Do not, under any circumstances, take a team in your survivor pool who is favored to win on Thursday night. Never, ever do that. That would be idiotic of you. Don't do that.
The over-under.
Never take a Thursday night game on your survivor
Uh-huh.
pool. That is one of my core principles.
42.5. The over-under
Let's
tonight.
take the under, baby.
Yeah, that feels pretty obvious.
Yeah. All right. We head to Berlin.
Oh, Berlin.
Not Bratislava. Berlin. You know, it's from Eurotrip.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I never go Berlin. I quote 4 movies. Falcons Colts, 8:30 on Sunday. Nothing sexy Dexy about it, Josh. To noon, speaking of sexy Dexy, Giants, Bears. I also heard Matt this morning, and he said, this is the type of game the Bears lose. Spoken like a classic sadistic Chicago sports fan. Just always so worried about
They're
everything Matt
just-
is.
Every game means the win. It's like
I
you're the
know,
Bears.
I know.
None of your
It's
games actually matter.
Bears.
You're the Bears.
It'd be funny if the Giants won, though, without any of their best players.
It would.
Bills, Dolphins.
Ooh.
Ravens, Vikings. Yeah, there's kind of a lot on the line for both teams. Vikings have maybe a little bit of juice to them now.
Little juice.
JJ. Ravens, a little bit more juice.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar's back. They're still the favorites for the division. What's going on? Browns, Jets.
I know a lot of you were eating lunch or just ate lunch or just ate a brownie sundae.
It's appropriate. Patriots, Buccaneers. Yeah, it's at the very least on the grunt side. It's either like sigh or grunt. It's for me. That's a good game. Patriots, Bucks.
Drake Baker.
Combined, there'd be one whole good quarterback. Saints, Panthers. Really hope the Panthers. If I was a Bears fan of the Panthers, I'd say this is the type of game the Panthers lose.
It would be the most NFL thing ever.
And that would be a poll question if we had polls. But I don't have the internet.
Damn it, Elon.
If you were a Bears-Panther fan, would you say this is the type of game that the Panthers lose? And my answer would be yes.
Uh-huh.
Jags, Texans.
Oh.
All right.
I'm a Titans fan, and I feel so sad for both of those quote-unquote fan bases.
Is CJ Stroud okay?
No.
Okay. He did not. That hit was bad.
It
was bad. Cardinals, Seahawks, Birds. Whatever. Seahawks is fun. Seahawks are a good watch.
I don't know how the NFL has tricked us and just given us ass after ass weeks of games, and
they only put the good games in the prime time.
They always deliver.
Except Rams, Niners.
Oh. Now that was a not a Oh.
A lot on the line there.
Yeah.
Rematch of the NFC Championship game. No, NFC Divisional round. Lions, Commanders. No Jaden Daniels, broken arm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
I did forget.
On paper, it looks great.
Yeah.
On reality, it doesn't look as great. Sunday Night Football, and welcome everybody to SoFi Stadium. Beautiful night for football, as long as Mike Tirico got there on time. Steelers, Chargers. You like power football? You like football? You got dudes hitting dudes in this game.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You got dudes hitting dudes. Chargers are better.
Chargers don't have an O-line.
No. Nope. And then on Monday night, it is Eagles and Packers. Both fraudulent teams. The fake good teams of the year bowl.
The only good game, and I can't watch it.
That's what I'm calling it. The fake good teams of the year bowl. This is this is going to be the NFC Championship game. It might be, but both of these teams are fake.
But yeah,
they're fake good teams. 4 buys this week: Bengals, Cowboys, Titans, and Chiefs.
Hey, Titans don't lose this week.
Thank you, Josh. Chris writes in.
Hi, Chris.
Poll question: would John Bishop do sexy Dexy if there was a fire?
Poll question.
If we could post poll questions, we would do that, but we can't.
There's no chance he would.
We'll be back. 1 o'clock hour is coming up on 1620. The Zone, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear from Underdog. It's a perfect time to talk about Underdog, talking about the slate this weekend. So take a look inside the slate. Look at your favorite players on Underdog and choose their higher or lower on their stat categories: rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, plenty more. Get your picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. That is why I use Underdog. It is fantastic, easy to use, and the quick payouts are quite literally money. Download the app today. Sign up using promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code HAPPER1620. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing. Get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
All right, welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you on the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Pat Fitzgerald, might he make his way back into the coaching world this offseason? There's a lot of jobs.
A lot of jobs.
A lot of
That's
good
for sure.
jobs.
Yeah.
If
High
you
profile jobs, at
if
least.
you were re-entering the coaching market, now might be the right time. Well, Pat Fitzgerald says he feels 100% vindicated in the wake of his settlement of his wrongful termination lawsuit against Northwestern. He says, I feel very fortunate. I feel fully vindicated. It's been great working through this process. There's been conversations with a lot of folks. It's been face-to-face. It's been on Zoom. It's been on phone calls. My candidacy for a head coach job has been received very well.
Oh.
So where might Pat Fitzgerald be a head coach next year? Because I would say, and I don't think it's too far of a stretch to assume that he's getting a job. I wonder what he's looking for. I wonder if he wants to jump right back into the biggest job he possibly can. I wonder if that place would be interested in him. I wouldn't immediately connect the dots with him in Penn State, but for the record, I don't know what Penn State is like. Their board without Matt Rule is according to some Penn State fans, even with Matt Rule, it's totally wide open. I know there's been some reporting over the last couple of days that Urban Meyer has been, like a name circling around.
Herb.
I think that's the name that you go to when you don't have any other.
It's a placeholder.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, well, we'll go get Urban, right? So I wonder where Pat Fitzgerald may end up in this cycle, because I think he's going to end up somewhere.
Mhm.
But does he jump right back into Penn State? Does he jump right back into? I don't think he's probably a great. I shouldn't say a great fit. I actually do think he'd be a fantastic fit for Auburn, but I think that they would never hire him because they're too stupid. So I guess also what I'm saying is he should get hired somewhere. If you want some stability, if you want to coach who, like he coached Northwestern for 17 years and they didn't win all the time, but when they were in the margins, when they had a team who was just at the very least comparable to some of these other teams, they won more often than they didn't. They won those 50-50 battles.
And
so I think that is worth a lot.
Obligatory at a place like Northwestern.
At a place like Northwestern. Yeah. And, so I think there is probably somewhere for him to be this offseason. Let's take a quick phone call here. I'm not exactly sure what this is about, but it could be about anything because we'd like to hear from you guys on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Here's Max. Hey, Max, what's up?
Hey, Connor. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Sure.
Quick question. So just want to say a quick side note. I'm a big fan of what you and Mitch do for the Lockdown Show. I listen pretty much every day. And I catch your show on here when I can. But I'm kind of curious. I apologize if you guys have already talked about Nebraska stuff earlier in the show, but this has kind of popped into my head, and I want to get your opinion. Say Nebraska wins on Saturday, and we're 7-3, and things go really, really well with TJ. Now, there have been, with all the preseason hype, Josh Pate making his, slipping Nebraska into his college football preseason playoff prediction. A couple other, national pundits kind of doing the same thing. We're pretty bummed. There's kind of this, conception of fans being bummed about being 6-3. What will it look like? Going back to the question here, what's it going to look like if TJ does really well? Dylan's obviously hurt for the rest of the year. We end up performing, let's say 8-4 or 9, let's say, optimistically 9-3 going into whatever bowl game we're going to be in. What's it look like? What do you think the fan reception will be? And then going into next season, again, saying Latif does really well to end through bowl season this year. How does that kind of complicate, or what does the quarterback situation look like going into next year? And what do you think the hype will be for Matt Rule year 4? I'll hang up and listen. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Max. Appreciate it. Thanks for the compliments. Thanks for taking in all the content. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this what if scenario the other day. So as far as what it means, as far as what it means for excitement for year 4, if they go 8-4 or 9-3, a lot. I mean, a lot. People would be very excited for year 4. In my opinion, people would be very, very, very excited for year 4 of Matt Rule. If Nebraska goes 9-3 in the regular season, it gets to a bowl game and somehow wins that. Like if they have a 10-win season, yeah, the thought will be, all right, cool. You won 10. Time to go to the playoff. It'll probably be real at that point. But as far as how it all lines up with the quarterback situation, what you will hear is from the fan base is that if TJ Latif plays well and Nebraska wins 2 out of their last 3 or all 3 of their last 3, is that they should just move on from Dylan and they should start TJ Latif. I that's definitely one of the cards that is potentially on the table for this conversation. So we can play it out. So you get dealt that card. They go 9-3. TJ Latif plays well. There's this groundswell for TJ Latif to be the starting quarterback. And so then we have this, and then we have this kind of anchor point, decision point. And what do they do with TJ Latif? My answer would be very simple. Awesome job, TJ. Thank you. Well done. Here's some more money. Dylan has another year. And I believe that they should have, and it's not because, people will say, oh my God, if we're not rewarding great play, then what are we even doing here? Because I think if TJ Latif is to play really well, it will be because the coaching staff, specifically the offensive coordinator, was able to design a plan, game plans, and whatever that worked well enough for TJ Latif to be successful. And they should apply that to Dylan Raiola. They should apply that theory to Dylan Raiola.
Sure.
And because I said, I went on a long rant about this yesterday. I think now that we can sort of look at it post-mortem, like it's Dylan's second year is over. I mean, when you have a quarterback who comes in with the type of tools that he has, the gut reaction is to put everything on his plate and have him make all these decisions and all this stuff, and your quarterback becomes, you become a little bit too quarterback dependent. And I don't know that Nebraska at their best is quarterback dependent. But like they also have yet to find in Dylan's 18 games or whatever. In Dylan's 18 games, they have yet to find the type of offense that best accentuates his skill set. They haven't found it. The original idea when he came here was, all right, we're going to be the pro style, whatever. This is why you didn't go to Georgia. It's going to be hard and blah, 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 blah. I think they have wasted too much of his time and wasted too much of his potential by not making it a little bit easier for him. So if they're able to do it for TJ Latif, simply because he doesn't come in with the accolades, he doesn't come in with all the to him, and they know he has limitations, you could coach with that, and you could. It's easier to devise something. It's easier to architect a game plan for him because you know his limitations and you know his skill set. I think they look at Dylan as, we don't know his limitations. Does he have any? Aside from running the football. And I think that has led to Nebraska's lack of identity under Dana Holgorsen, under Marcus Satterfield, under Dylan Raiola. I believe that Dana Holgorsen is a good offensive coordinator. I don't think they've found the answer to how to use Dylan the best yet. And I think that answer is easier to find out with TJ Latif, your quarterback, because there's only a certain subset of answers at this stage in his career. Maybe he's everything later, but at this stage in his career, there's only so many things that he could be, and whether you like it or not, that is in part because of the hype. That is in part because Dylan was Dylan and TJ was TJ. Right?
Do you have at the ready some of those numbers we had preseason? Like, what are the expectations for Dylan?
Like stat for the year?
Yeah.
I think it was like, because last year, it was like 3,000 yards, 20 and 10, something like that. That's not for everybody, but that was the
sure.
idea.
Really ended with exactly 2,000 yards passing, 18 and 6.
Yeah, and they're 75% of the way through the season, not 65% of the way through the season. And it was touchdown interception?
18 to 6.
Still on the right path.
Yeah.
But I just think with what they have been doing with him for the first 2 years, it doesn't tap into his full potential because it's too not complicated. That's not the right way to put it because it's not because he's. Although I think you would say that he is a little bit of a slower decision maker, and so
I would agree with that.
My thing to them, and I would imagine this is just because of Matt Rule and the way he likes to win football games, and he has. The great thing about Matt Rule, but also the rub in this case, is that he has a vision. I mean, he totally has a vision. He knows what he wants his football program to look like. And that vision does not align with Dylan Raiola being an air raid quarterback. Dylan Raiola is well suited to throw the thing around the yard and to have decisions made for him quickly, rep those over and over. Nebraska has receivers that are capable of that. But instead, they're playing a little bit of ball control. They're being conservative. They're asking him to take 7-step drops on 3rd and 7. And it's hard. And offensive tackles can't hold up. And guys can't get open because it's hard. Right? And so what I'm asking is that they make it easier for them. If they find that they could create something for TJ Lateef, they need to apply that logic in the offseason to Dylan Raiola. Not say, which I don't think they ever would, not say out the window with Dylan, let's just do this with TJ. It's the process, of that to get you there. So that was like a 15-minute answer to the question, I think, but I mean, this is the reason why I'm excited for TJ. I'm not excited because I get to see TJ Lateef play instead of Dylan Raiola. I'm excited because it makes Dana Holgerson's job for him. It does Dana, and I just think he had too many options on the table, and they got sucked into it. And now they have less options on the table because of the limitations of a freshman quarterback who's starting his first ever game on Saturday. And when you have that, you just have to create something that makes it so he is a cog in the wheel of the offense, not the only piece. Not the only piece. And I'm not talking about where the ball's going. I'm talking about the decisions that are being made and how easy it is to process those decisions. And maybe they find that TJ Lateef does process those decisions really, really quickly. And then they put more and more and more and more. But that's the way you have to do it. Not start with, because we remember, Josh, we remember them talking about Dylan last year at the start of the year. They were like, not only is he good, yes, he's good, whatever, but it was, he can take everything.
Yeah.
He can take everything. In my opinion, that is not the right way to foundationally build a quarterback. I know that's the way that they're going to do it when X player gets to the NFL. They're going to throw him into the deep end and they're going to say, go sink or swim, buddy. It's up to you.
My floaties.
Right. I don't think that is the right way to fundamentally develop a quarterback. And it might seem antithetical because some of the things that they're going to be doing are going to be things that NFL at the beginning are some of the things that NFL people look at and they say, well, he doesn't make decisions on his own. The decisions are made for him and he can't read defenses and all that stuff. But you start there. You make it easier for a guy, especially a guy like Dylan, who is a rhythm quarterback. I've said it 5,000 times. He is a rhythm quarterback. He needs to feel good about his feet and about his process. He needs to, and his reads and all that stuff. And the more he's completing passes, that's the best thing for his development. And they need to make it easier for him. That's how you foundationally start it. You start it easy, and then you put stuff on the plate, put stuff on the plate, put stuff on the plate.
72% this year.
They went full on Thanksgiving buffet's yours, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
When I was an 8-year-old, Josh, there were no vegetables on my plate. It was not a very healthy Thanksgiving plate.
Wow.
I just put 17 piles of turkey. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's not the most foundationally balanced plate. It's whatever I wanted. And you get yourself into bad decisions. You get yourself into bad habits. And Everything was on that plate. And I just think he could afford to take a little bit off it. Not that he can't handle it, because he can, but I'd like to make it a little bit easier for him. That's all. All right. We have plenty more to come. If you guys have any thoughts on that, we'd love to hear it. 402-951-1620. Still banned from Twitter. So can't wait until we get that back. Love to get your thoughts on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. But alas, we cannot. By the way, before we do take that break, we should give away tickets to the Mavs game. So let's do that.
Hockey.
We have hockey on Saturday night at 7 o'clock at the Baxter, Omaha, and North Dakota. 2 tickets. Also, it's like zone night. There'll be some zone stuff there, like shirts and stuff. NRG Media Night. We'll have a bunch of our people from inside the building there. Caller number one. Just caller number one. Just be the first person to call right now at 402-951-1620. You're going to get 2 tickets to Omaha and North Dakota on Saturday night, right here on 1620 The Zone. All right, anything else happen in the news, Josh, that I've missed? Because sometimes, I like to watch the tweets during the breaks and just scroll through there and see what's going on. So today I scrolled through Facebook once or twice. Here I got a post from September 15th.
That was a little while ago.
That's what Facebook does. So the page I don't subscribe to is called Foodie Fetish.
Careful.
And it is a video of a one of those, hibachi, the hibachi rice hearts. You know how they make like the heartbeat of the hibachi grills
Okay,
with the rice? And that was what I got. That was the video I got served on my Facebook. That and Cornhusker AI garbage slop crap that people believe. But is there anything in real news?
I haven't seen anything that's jumped out. I have noticed a lot fewer posts.
Oh, you think a lot of people have gotten caught up in is this the rapture?
Ooh,
is this
maybe.
Is this the Twitter rapture?
I think it's probably just my Alco is so different from Happer Show because we use it for different things. Like I'm just trying to get stuff I care about. Happer Show is trying to get things that are important to the show.
You're usually scrolling Happer Show during the show.
Yeah.
That's right. But that is, you still made that. You still created that algo.
Yeah.
For the most part, I think.
I've carefully cultivated it.
How many Mina
it.
Kimes tweets have you liked from that Happer Show account?
So many. I just wanted to notice us.
You gotta like that stuff from your own account, Josh. Be careful.
It's not what you think. I just like her knowledge of ball.
I don't know. It kind of seems like a little bit of what I think.
You gotta support the hometown kid.
She's not from here.
She's from around here.
She's not.
She spent some time here once.
No, but yeah, she's from here in the same way that Andy Roddick is.
Oh, another great Omahan.
Or Wade Boggs. What is the Mount Rushmore of great Omaha non-Omahans? I think we probably just hit them all.
This is a great one.
Most famous people whose birthplace is Omaha, but they never actually lived here or were never from here.
Wrestling fans will tell you Sting and Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, dude, that exactly. That's a good one. I've always heard the name Ted DiBiase because he's like from here, but I don't. Did he actually live here for any period of time?
I have no idea.
Put any roots down?
Marlon Brando.
See, I don't know. There's some of these that I don't know the backstories of. Like, did they actually live here for a period of time?
Many people in the chat saying Malcolm X.
Okay, well,
careful.
Marlon Brando. No. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of there's other actors.
Nick Nolte.
Nolte?
He went to Benson.
Okay, so if you went to high school here, if you went to like full term high school here, then I think you're in Omaha.
Okay.
But if you're only here for like part of high school or something like that, then you just
left before high school.
You left before high school, or you only were here for 4 days or something like that. Yeah. And all the people that were born at Offutt don't count.
Whoa.
What? I mean, come on. They're here for like a maximum of 3 years.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Of course, we love you still, but they're not Omahans. And they wouldn't even tell you that they were Omahans. Mina Kimes would disappoint. She would break your heart, Josh. Little Philly break your heart? She would.
No, it was a girl.
She would tell you that she's not from Omaha.
She did on Celebrity Jeopardy.
She most identifies with Seattle.
Gerald Ford.
Gerald Ford. Good one. I don't know the backstory on that one either. I just know he has a house.
Yeah, his house is
his birth house. Was Gerald Ford not born in a hospital?
He's born at that house.
He was born at that house.
All about.
All right. Other people are saying, oh, Henry Fonda. Now, Henry Fonda went to high school here, didn't he? Wow, it turns out I'm way more unprepared for this conversation than I thought I was. Gabby Union, I think, went to high school here for a period of time. I don't know
Fellow
if it was the whole
Central
thing.
alum, right?
No, I think Gabby Union was North.
Oh, okay. I
and
apologize.
I think Fonda was maybe Central. The Reuben.
That's a real.
So I went on that USC podcast,
Oh,
and they were like, I heard Omaha's big on the Reuben, and I gave my whole spiel about, yeah, there are going to be people in New York who tell you that they made the Reuben.
Uh-huh.
There's going to be people in Lincoln for some reason that they told you that they made the Reuben, and they are wrong. Even though I don't actually know the truth of that story, and I don't think anybody does. But I told them, yep, Cottonwood Hotel, whatever. See you there. Get your Reubens in Omaha. Omaha is Reuben.
What's JoJo Siwa all about? When did she get out? I think she's still got
here.
family.
No,
here.
yes. She's rooted. Yeah, she's in Omaha.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
She's a real one, is what you're saying.
Oh, Black Cat. How did we not know Mock Pope was born here?
Mock Pope.
That is a great question. That is a great question. I didn't know that until he became the head coach at Kentucky.
Whoa.
Mock Pope.
Okay. Here's one that I didn't know.
Give me some of this, Josh. I need to play stuff on here.
Like I want to kill myself, jump in the cold and die of frostbite.
Thank you.
Born in Omaha, Nebraska.
Mock Pope.
Sean McDermott.
Oh, you know what? I remember this. When did we have this revelation?
Oh, I didn't know this. I apologize.
We had this revelation at a different on the show at a different point. And I can't remember what it was. Wow. So the great question is, we should have asked this to Frank Caliendo yesterday when he said Sean McDermott instead of Greg McDermott. Who's more Omaha? And the answer is obviously Sean, because he is from here.
Obviously.
Greg, imposter.
Careful.
What? It's not from here.
I don't want him thinking we don't like him.
We do like him. He knows
He's
that.
listening.
He knows.
On the
He's
golf course.
definitely not listening. He's got to figure out how to.
I need a 5.
He's got to figure out how to spread out his wing minutes. What am I going to do with Fedor? That's probably what he's thinking right now. All right. So, oh yeah, Brees Hall, good one.
I don't think I knew that one.
Brees Hall is in Omaha. Yeah, under the radar guy. What's Ohio State?
I'm in the W's now, so I think we're good.
Okay. Here's a chart. We didn't get to this yesterday. Post-game win expectancy numbers. You like numbers?
Love numbers.
This is how many wins each team has above or below expectation. If you're below 0, you probably should have won a game you ended up losing. So Nebraska on this chart, everybody in the country basically is spread out between -2 and +2, except for a few teams who are above and below those numbers, and we'll talk about them in a second. So if you are lower on the chart, let's just use Clemson for an example. Clemson is the lowest teams on this list. They are below -2. That means they probably should have won at least, and in this case, what they're saying is more than 2 games that they lost, according to post-game win expectancy, which I believe is the stat where they jumble up all the plays in a hat, and then they mix them around, and then they see how the game turns out that way. In essence, you might not be surprised to see Virginia on the exact other side of that. That's right. College football playoff contender Virginia is above 2, winning more than 2 games than they shouldn't have at this point.
Frauds.
One way to put it. So I'm curious to, and maybe some of you have seen this chart, maybe you haven't. I'll give you a hint. Nebraska's in between -1 and 1, and they're on one of the other side of 0. Would you think that they are on the side of should have won more or should have won less?
Oh, I guess probably less.
That's right.
That's what
I was sort of surprised. Given that Nebraska's losses to Michigan and USC were both, and those games were winnable for a second, right? Like I think post game win expectancy, they probably weren't all that close, or maybe not as close as the score indicated, but those games were winnable for Nebraska. And so what's funny is Mitch and I had a conversation this morning on the Locked On Pod. Like, if Nebraska wins on Saturday against USC, obviously everything is different. Maybe Dylan's not hurt or whatever it might be, but they're 7-2. They're in the playoff run, and then all of a sudden you have to discuss like their resume and their candidacy for the college football playoff if they were to win the next three. And whether you like it or not, a 10-2 Nebraska is at the very least in the conversation. I doubt they'd be able to get in with that, but they would use a number like this against them to say, well, they're fraudulent. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care because 10-2 is 10-2, and that's a great season, obviously, around here, considering what we have recently seen. But they would say Nebraska is the fake ID of college football. They're skating away and blah blah blah. If they're, you looked at the end of the season, and you know what also would happen if we, for some reason, landed on that conversation, Josh? They would rake Nebraska over the coals for losing to Minnesota the way they did. They would get drug for that. They'd never be able to recover. They'd never be able to recover. They would say, look at all these other college football playoff contenders. Look at all their losses. Nobody has that. Nobody. And I don't know if they'd be 100% right given the flaws that all these other 10-2 teams are going to have, but that would be a significant black eye on Nebraska's resume. I would like to live in a world, if we're replaying parts of the season, if we're doing different things with this, I would like to live in a world where everything goes the same up until that Minnesota game. Nebraska wins that game, and then everything else becomes the same afterwards. If Nebraska's 2 losses were to Michigan and USC right now, and they don't have the black eye loss to Minnesota, and they're 7-2, and they have everything in front of them in the last 3 games, they have 2 top 25 losses. That is, I think things would feel drastically different. Now, everything is different this week because of the backup quarterback, but things would feel drastically different. That game is going to be either an ultimate WTF in the rule era or that's when I knew of the rule era. That game is going to be the game that stands out over his tenure.
It's the
ultimate WTF.
You can tell it's a real inflection point with a lot of people. Yeah.
Things have been emotional ever since.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll take a break. We got the polls, which we don't have, but we will indeed tell you what to watch.
We will.
On 1620 The Zone.
He gives you the latest sports news, analysis, and commentary in a clean, concise, and disease-free way.
See there?
What a relief! Thank God!
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right. Well, if we would have had such good poll questions today.
So good.
We would have had such good poll questions today, but we have no avenue to ask them. And we don't want to clog up the at 1620 the zone feed with a bunch of Happer Show non-sportsy poll questions because people would be just confused. So we're not doing that. So we will wait. And until then, a chunk of our show is gone.
Now,
Suspended.
If you would like to help the show, you could tweet at Elon or whatever the D-bag goes by.
I don't know if that's going to help.
And say, hey, unsuspend at Happer Show.
And at Connor Happer and at No Context 1620 and at Locked On Nebraska and at Tiny Baby Buffs.
And Josh Tweederson.
And at Josh Tweederson.
Although he's been suspended a lot lately.
Yeah,
so.
it makes me think he actually does have inauthentic behavior.
He's all of a sudden the bad boy of Nebraska media.
I know. It's kind of funny. I don't. Yeah, help me out. I guess I don't know. I don't think it'll do anything.
No, probably not.
So that's it. We don't have polls. We do have what to watch though. Josh,
we sure do. You can watch the NFL. It's on Amazon Prime tonight, 7:00. The Denver Broncos host the Las Vegas Raiders.
I have access to that channel.
Yes. If you don't, that's okay too. Coverage begins right here on 1620 The Zone at 6:30. College football, we don't have access to these as we are YouTube TV subscribers. Georgia Southern at App State.
Why is everything so stupid? Why is everything so bad right now?
Great question.
What is going on?
I can't eat. I can't get ESPN.
Just imagine if this all happened the week that you didn't have air conditioning.
Oh, I would be insufferable.
Yeah.
UTSA in South Florida, 6:30 on ESPN. NBA, a one-game slate tonight. Good job, NBA. Clippers Suns at 8:00 on NBA TV. College hoops, anyone?
Yes.
Omaha Mavericks at Abilene Christian, 7:00 on ESPN Plus, or 6:30 on 1290 Coil.
Gary.
St. Francis at TCU, 7:00 on TNT. Hockey doubleheader on Hulu. Caps Pens, 6:30. Puck drop there. Panthers Kings at 9.
The puck is dropped.
How about some volleyball?
All right.
See if Nebraska can keep the sweep streak going. They host Illinois tonight at 6 on FS1.
My prediction? Yes.
Yeah, it seems likely. And finally tonight at 7:00 on NBC, Wicked, One Wonderful Night. Listen to people from the movie sing songs from the movie, but it isn't the movie.
Sounds like I'm down for 2 episodes of Breaking Bad tonight.
That's right.
More quotes coming tomorrow. That's it for us today. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover is next.